Stadium, but the Orioles are in town. Fans are making their way into the ballpark. Should be another big crowd. And you know why? Because the big man joins the band tonight as he tries to keep the Yankees hot streak going. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending World Series champion New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. Well, yesterday the Yankees took their second out of three games against the Chicago White Sox. They had the most hits, and they scored the most runs that they've done all year against any team. Starting to pick up now. Yeah, it certainly is, and I think against a tough pitcher, Mark Burley, the rubber match, as you say, Michael, and really, who's really been hot all year is in Robinson Cano. And the 3-4-5, there was a juggling in the lineup with Swisher in the middle there with Teixeira and also Cano. Gardner was part of the parade. This was a hit parade throughout the entire day. He hit a big home run there off of Mark Burley, a left-handed pitcher. Now here with Teixeira with May, he had a tremendous day going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a double. What an offensive day for the Yankees. And look at the other numbers. Swisher 3 for 4, Cano 2 for 4, and Gardner 2 for 4 with that home run as well. Let's take a look at tonight's starters in this first game of the 3-game set. For the Orioles, Jeremy Guthrie, we'll talk about him a little bit later if he has command today. 0-3, 4.70. CC Sabathia for the Yankees, 3-1 with a 3.12. Last time out against the O's, Al, he won, but he wasn't his best. Yeah, well, he wasn't his best, but I'll tell you what, any major league pitcher would certainly take what CC Sabathia did. He got into the 8th inning. I really like what CC's doing. When his fastball isn't in his plus zone, he had a great changeup. He's throwing a lot more sliders, a little two-seamer way, and boy, he's been getting ground balls. He had a couple double play balls that got him out of some innings. Jams, an opportunity here again with another double play ball. 11 hits, but when you go into the 8th inning and 3 runs, he did a nice job, ended up getting the win. And he's going to be facing a little bit of a different Oriole team. They just swept the Red Sox, so they're playing much better. Why? We turn to Al Leiter to tell us that. That's coming up next, right here on Yes. Welcome back to segment 2, everybody. Back here at the stadium, moments away from Yankees and the Orioles. That's Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Now, the last time the Yankees faced the Orioles last week in Baltimore, they're facing a much different team now. At that time, the Orioles limped in at 3-16. Now they've just swept the Red Sox. They have, and they're hitting. That's really, their pitching has been a problem. But during this Red Sox series, first time they swept the Red Sox since 1998. Miguel Tejada on Friday night, 6 for 11 in the series during that sweep. This was a game-winning hit. And then Ty Wingleton on Saturday had 2 home runs. But yesterday, this was a game-winning hit yesterday to beat the Red Sox. As a team, the Orioles were 3-0-1 with 20 runs during that sweep of the Red Sox. 31 hits in this 3-game set. And that's the difference between these two series against the Yankees, 1-2. Although they had a chance to win another game, 3-0 against Boston. Look how many more runs they scored, how much better their average was. The ERA, about the same, but when you score enough runs, you'll be able to win some games, and the Red Sox certainly are struggling, and the Orioles now feel better about themselves coming into this series. Coming up, the Yankees get their gold gloves. Derek Jeter, Mark Teixeira, something that can be cherished along with the World Series rings from last year. Also coming up, lineups, first pitch, baseball. That's next, right here on Yes. Good switch. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Heineken. Give yourself a good name. By Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Another big crowd filing into the ballpark on 161st Street and River Avenue. Yankees have taken the field. CC has finished his warm-up. So let's take a look at tonight's Orioles starting lineup, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. Orioles come in at 7-18. They lead off Adam Jones, their center fielder. Nick Markakis at right. Ty Wigington at second. Miguel Tejada, the third baseman, cleans up. Matt Wieters will catch. He'll bat 5th. Batting 6th and playing first base, Garrett Atkins. Nolan Reimold, the DH, at 7th. Batting 8th and playing left field, Lou Montanez. And Cesar Asturias, the shortstop, is going to bat 9th. And there is CC Sabathia. Karsten Charles gotten off to a good start, 3-1 with a 3.12 ERA. 28 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings, 25 hits, 12 walks. Opponents hitting 12 against him. We'll have the scouting report in just a moment. Sabathia is ready. Adam Jones is ready. And the left-hander deals. First pitch swung and fouled away, and we are underway.
Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report. Give me the ball. How about this? Since 2007 through 2009, he's the only pitcher to have thrown at least 34 starts in each season. Love the Birds. He's 10-1 in 15 career starts. Most wins against any AL East team. And here in the Bronx, he's undefeated in his last 8 starts, dating back to the last All-Star game. 6-0 with a 1.62 ERA here at Yankee Stadium.
Adam Jones fouls one off his foot. Now, when the Yankees played the Orioles, Adam Jones looked lost at the plate. Didn't seem like he had a chance. He had the long swing that he had corrected before last year. And then, boom, the Red Sox come to town, and he was 7 for 14 against them and kind of straightened things out. Now his average is getting up to some respectability.
Well, he did have that injury at the end of last season, just hitting off his ankle there, or in their instep. You know what, really, first of all, I love this kid. I think it was a great trade that they made for him from Seattle to come over for the Eric Bedard trade. He's very athletic, and there's a lot to like about him. There's Terry Crowley, the Oriole hitting coach. And it's a matter of being comfortable, Michael. In most cases, as you just described it, you know, he was swinging at bad pitches. And ultimately, when a young player, old player, it's about getting your pitch to drive. And if you're in bad counts and you end up swinging at balls, pitchers, pitches, balls out of the zone, it'll result in slumps or a low batting average. He has been hitting much better of late, but a very, very athletic player.
The 0-2.
Won his first Gold Glove last year for the Orioles. I think he's a cornerstone type player that the Orioles will count on certainly in the future, with Nick Markakis being in the middle of that, along with Matt Wieters, their catcher.
The 1-2. Soft ground ball to short. Jeter charges, and there's one away. Hey, you've already seen the shortstop. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Randy Wynn gets start left, Brett Gardner in center, and Nick Swisher is in right. In the infield, Alex Rodriguez back in the lineup. And there's Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Posada behind the plate. And CC Sabathia is on the mound.
Talking about a part of their nucleus, Nick Markakis, what a player he's been for the Orioles. This year he's reached base safely 22 of 25 games. Beautiful swing. In that last 8 games, Michael, 364 batting average. There's a guy that the Orioles locked up in January of 2009 with a 6-year deal.
Against the Red Sox, 7 for 12. Now, the whole Oriole lineup is a little out of sync because they don't have Brian Roberts, out with a bad back, and Roberts is your prototypical leadoff man. Adam Jones is more toward the middle of the order, or at least second. Nick Markakis is not a number 2 batter. He's really a number 3, even a cleanup batter, so it's not exactly the way it was drawn up.
Yeah, they're not sure about Brian Roberts, an excellent player, all-star player, as to when he'll be back. It's a herniated disc issue with Brian Roberts, and they're just trying to figure out how to fill that gap. Also at second base, Ty Wigginton now seems to be the player who'll be playing second base most of the time.
Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 74 degrees, high humidity, 7 miles per hour is the wind, and the forecast is for clearing, so it looks like maybe we beat the rain. The 3-1. And Markakis walks. Home plate umpire is Bill Hone, as he calls ball 4. Bill Hone is behind the plate. Bruce Dreckman is at first. Paul Emmel is at second. And Gary Darling over at third. That's Gary Darling. We just completely ignored Paul Emmel. There he is. Wigginton swings and misses. 6 for 18 in that sweep of the Red Sox.
Big slow curveball from CC Sabathia. See, pulling the trigger here. Ty Wigginton's a guy that just swings early in the count. Has always been a very good fastball hitter. Reason why CC Sabathia along with Posada throw him early off-speed pitches. Change-ups, two-seamers down the way, a lot of curveballs. Get him out in front.
Foul back.
Ty Wigginton getting an opportunity to play here at the beginning of the year. Obviously, with Brian Roberts playing second, he's more of a utility player, plays all over third, first, second base. Settling in, you see the numbers in that 364 batting average, 329, very respectable.
That gets away from Posada, and then Markakis sprints to second.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot hitter scout report about Ty Wigginton. Tremblay's guy, I mentioned the first 4 games, he only had 1 at bat. Now he's settling in. It's just a guy that well, a gamer. Played 5 different teams in 10 years. Good all-around player and good with the younger players. And swing from the on-deck circle, his batting average in the first or second pitch this year is .438. 14 for 32 with 5 home runs.
He also, I mean, you didn't put this in the scouting report because you're humble. No, he grew up pretty much under your wing. I mean, you were a veteran with the Mets, and Wigginton, he's the man he is because of you, Al.
Yeah, Michael, that's it. He came up with the Mets, and he's a good guy. And when I mean gamer, I consider that the utmost respect for any player. He plays the game hard. He plays it right. Solid guy. Respects the game. Respects older players.
Shattered bat and a slow ground ball to A-Rod. He'll get Wigginton, and moving to third is Markakis. So there's 2 down.
Yeah, that's definitely firewood. That's not just a little broken bat. He just got all in his kitchen in the inside corner. Watch this ball just cut in perfectly inside, pulling the trigger, realizing at that point he's either got to swing because it may be a strike. That's the effectiveness of a really, oh boy, that's embarrassing. A little, you're holding, this is complete shattered bat. Can't say enough about left-handers being able to bore in on the right-handed batter.
Hot shot to Jeter. Over to Teixeira, and a scoreless inning for CC Sabathia. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. It's the Baltimore Orioles nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. 2 of the cutest kids here in the ballpark are director John Moore's kids. They are adorable. Aaron's on the left, and Chris is on the right. And they're with friends, but it doesn't really matter. We just want to. Anyway, let's take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup, and it's presented by our good friends at Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second and DHing Nick Johnson. Mark Teixeira is at first base. He'll hit third. Back in the lineup and playing third base and cleaning up, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second. Jorge Posada will catch. Nick Swisher's in right, batting seventh, batting eighth. And playing center field, Brett Gardner, and Randy Wins in left field. He's going to bat ninth.
On the mound for the Orioles, 30-year-old right-hander Jeremy Guthrie in that last start against the Yankees. He got the loss, didn't get out of the 5th inning. Here's numbers for the season. This will be a 6-start, 0-3 record, a .470 ERA. Very erratic with his command. Even though only 6 walks, he's got a lot of movement on the baseball. Sometimes doesn't know exactly where he's putting it.
Derek Jeter will lead off. Yankees 16-8 coming into this game. Pitch.
Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scout report on Guthrie. Lefties are wearing him out. How about the left-handers? 355 this year with 3 home runs, and right-handers only 204. Unlucky 7. He's got the 4th longest losing streak, 7 losses in a row. Current longest streak as a major league starter. That's not one that you want. And away from the yard, hasn't allowed a home run to a right-handed batter in his last 8 starts away from Camden Yard.
Ground ball to second. And there's one away. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by Mercedes. First in the outfield, Lou Montanez in left, Adam Jones in center, and Nick Markakis over right. In the infield, Tejada, Torres, Wigginton, and Atkins. That's third to first. the youngster Wieters behind the plate, and Guthrie is on the mound. There's Nick Johnson, got a big RBI double late in the game yesterday, 2-run double actually. Maybe that breaks him out of this slump. Takes a pitch outside, 1-0.
I was talking to Kevin Long before the game, and he was talking about that hit, and sometimes all it takes, that's all it will be for a guy to get out of his slump. But he said, you know, the thing about impressed him yesterday, as that ball almost was close enough for Tejada to catch, was that he hit many of his balls to the left side. Hit a couple hard ground outs to shortstop, a hard fly ball to left field. And anytime you see a hitter who's struggling, allows himself to be able to track the ball longer and drive the ball to left field as opposed to pulling off, you know, something within the game for Kevin Long to give to Nick, make him feel better about what's been going on. This was a double yesterday, and his last at bat ended up getting a couple RBIs for it. Stayed on that ball, split the gap in left center field. Nice way for him to end the day for Nick Johnson, also the Yankees.
So he's worked the count to 3-1. And he walks. That's his 22nd walk of the year. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Now, the story that's out there is how Jeremy Guthrie has hit more Yankees than anybody else. I think he's had 17 hit batters in the last 2 years, and 9 of them Yankees. Doesn't count the 2 that he hit in spring training. Actually got the guy up to the plate, Mark Teixeira, on the elbow. I talked to Dave Tremblay about it today, and he said, listen, if I thought he was throwing on people on purpose, I'd take care of it. He said, because then I think that my guys would get hit too. He says, you got to watch that. He said, he's just having a hard time commanding. He said, and you know, that he said that doesn't excuse it either. He said, if I'm the, I couldn't believe how forthright he was. He said, if I'm the Yankees, I'm not happy about it. He goes, he hits them. He goes, he's not trying to do it, and that's the list that he's actually hit since 08. He said the bottom line is he's got to command the ball better. He goes, otherwise they are going to retaliate. Line drive, foul. Now I also wonder, Al, you having been a pitcher, because the Yankees complained as they did after Posada got hurt in Baltimore, and he's not doing it on purpose, he's trying to command the inside of the plate. Is that going to psychologically take the inside pitch away from him because he doesn't want to hit anybody?
Everything that you're bringing up is completely legitimate, because I haven't been there. You know, where you're not always precise where you put the ball, and everybody is saying the right thing. But the bottom line is, when a guy gets hit, it hurts. And even though Girardi or any manager doesn't think it's on purpose.
There's a strike. Gary Darling says strike. So Teixeira goes down swinging.
But part of that'll be interesting to watch here, because every single successful major league pitcher has to come inside. And if it affects Guthrie's ability to really be aggressive, a little slider that Teixeira couldn't hold up on, yeah, that is a problem for him. That's been the problem for him against left-handers basically in his career. He has a run-back fastball, a fastball that sinks or runs away from the lefty in on the righty. And this year, the .355 batting average against, that ball's too much of the middle of the plate. Now the right-handers, because of that slider, .204 batting average.
Well, Guthrie's never really done well against the Yankees. 3-7, 5.21 ERA. That's in 12 career starts and 1 relief appearance. Count 1-1. Now Alex sat out yesterday's game, soreness in his legs, and there was some back and forth. You know, was he injured? And Joe Girardi said he wasn't injured. He's just sore. And Alex didn't talk to the media yesterday. Today he did. He said, I think it was a cramp behind my right knee. He said, I'm fine. He said, there's no story here at all. I'm all good. And here he is in the lineup playing third base. Yankees' first month was injury-free, and then Granderson goes down, and according to Girardi, probably going to be out a month. And then everybody got nervous when Alex wasn't in the lineup yesterday, but here he is back. Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Asturias. They go the short way, and that will do it for Guthrie against the Yankees. Yankees don't score. They lead 1. We go to the second. There's no score on yes. Page 47. Will he get to 300? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. My vote would be no, he can't. I don't know if he has 39 more wins in him. So 1 yes, 2 no.
Has anybody pitched to like 54?
Satchel Paige pitched into his 50s.
52? Did he get it?
With what he's throwing up there?
He's still winning now.
Matt Wieters against CC Sabathia. So let's get this straight out. He's 47. He beat the Mets last night. You're 44.
Right.
And you've been retired for what now, 15 years? Is there a modicum of guilt on your part not being out there?
Why do you go there? No, there's not.
You can still throw harder than
guilt.
Jamie Moyer.
I could throw harder than Jamie Moyer.
Right.
But I could throw harder when he was better than me when I was playing.
I mean, but I know you're making a great living here. Yes, but you could be pulling in $10 million a year if you were starting and winning games.
Well, that probably wouldn't happen because I couldn't do that. You know what? And I'll tell you that. If there's kids out there listening, learn how to throw a changeup. Look at CC Sabathia. Of all the years of him throwing 95 or better, one of the more impressive things that I've seen with CC since been watching him often as a Yankee pitcher is that he throws a lot of changeups. That one right there. That is a tough pitch. You talk to any good major league hitter and they'll say a good changeup with great arm speed is the hardest pitch to hit.
Isn't that great? His changeup is faster than Jamie Moyer's
Look at
fastball.
the grip. Look at that beautiful, beautiful shot right there. It's a pitch, and it's if you throw it right, there's no torque on your elbow. You don't have to worry about Tommy John surgery.
So are you teaching your son Jack the changeup?
Yes.
How is he?
Well, no,
handling
he
it?
doesn't. His fastball right now is his changeup. Although he threw three perfect innings the other day.
Really?
I'll tell you.
Does he throw strikes?
Yeah.
So he takes after Laurie.
Definitely not me. Yeah, painful 100 pitches in 5 innings.
No, seriously, do you marvel at what Moyer's able to do?
Absolutely. Think about this. A few years back when Jamie Moyer was with the Cubs and he went Texas, was released. The Tigers picked him up, was in AAA, and then the Orioles got him.
Yep.
It really just transformed his career. And at that point, I got it. He was late 20s, maybe even close to 30 when he really started getting it together. You think of Jimmy Key, a guy I played with?
That one's driven to right field and deep. Going back, Swisher, still back, turning, looking. See ya. Wieters goes the other way, a solo home run, and the Orioles lead 1-0.
Very impressive young player here, Matt Wieters, #1 pick overall. That just a matter of him getting comfortable as a major league player, and boy, he's exciting to watch. This is his 3rd home run on the year, his 12th RBI. Just allowed the ball to track, just strong and a big, tall kid here, where he's just trusted big, strong hands, big forearms. Very good defensive catcher. He's an exciting future star for baseball.
Here's Garrett Atkins. There's a strike.
6'5", just a great figure for as a catcher or any baseball player. But watching him today stand around the dugout and around the batting cage is a reason why he was #1 pick overall.
He looks young.
Based on Ty Wigginton, who I value his opinion, he just said he's going to be a great one. Just gets it, wants to get better. There's a lot of young players now. They get drafted out of college or high school, signed for a lot of money.
Look at the yes-mo. This is our super slow-mo.
Now watch here if we get a chance to see him put his foot down and look at how late he was able to track that ball. That's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at the finish.
Strike 3, Atkins down looking.
That's a great shot right there. Just a lock-up fastball inside corner. I like it. Bell tie inside part of the plate. Atkins does not. He's been struggling since coming over from the Colorado Rockies. Bill Hahn, the home plate umpire. High strike.
When I just watched that yes-mo, something struck me, and I want to see if you take a look at it, if it strikes you as well, and you went through it. Here's Nolan Reimold. That one's fouled back. Watch his arm. Watch how his arm torques there and how his skin, all the torque. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's the fastest known motion to man, to an athletic event or any event, that the rotation, full rotation of a shoulder is 6,800 miles per second a pitcher throws. It's all based on,
what was that?
6,800 miles per second.
Really?
If they take the full revolution of the shoulder.
Right.
This is all done out of ASMI with Dr. Andrews down in Birmingham. The biometrics of pitching. Very interesting stuff. There's a lot of professional pitchers down there. See the valgus stretch on the elbow, what Michael's talking about.
Oh.
Tremendous torque.
There's a strike. I mean, when you see that and the trauma that the arm goes through, you're surprised that there aren't more arm injuries. Because if that's what's happening to the skin, what's happening inside to the ligaments and the tendons and things like that?
And such the importance, Michael, if you could teach the mechanics, aside from being able to be consistent with making good pitches, expanded with a breaking ball like that down the zone, gets the call from first base umpire Bruce Jackman.
On the yes mo, let's see if he went around. Oh,
yeah.
yes mo.
The yes mo is going to show a lot going around with that.
Second strikeout for Sabathia. And that's going to bring up Lou Montanez.
But, not to belabor this, but also, too, the pitch counts, what I hear in high school, what's going on in amateur ball, there is something to be said for these coaches to be mindful of pitch counts. I'm hearing even locally here, there's high school kids already having thrown 130, 140 pitches in a high school game, which is potentially tragic. You talk about the effort and what goes on with the pitcher's body to maintain the integrity of not getting hurt. These coaches around America know pitch counts. I mean, heck, every broadcast now is, showing the pitch counts as often as we do. There's still certain places where coaches are more inclined to just worry about keeping their best pitcher in to win a ball game.
High pop-up. Middle of the infield. Derek Jeter will put it away, and that'll do it. So Matt Wieters, an opposite field home run, and after that, 3 in a row by Sabathia. So after an inning and a half, thanks to this swing by Wieters, it is 1-0 Orioles over the Yanks. Let's look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. 2 more games against the Orioles tomorrow night, and then Wednesday afternoon. Thursday's an off day. Then on to the road again. Boston, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday night. And then 4 games in Detroit with 3 at night, and then the final game on Thursday, the 13th, a 105 game. Here's Robinson Cano. Takes low, 1-0. .387, that leads the major leagues. Cano and BP putting on a show and really blasted this one. We have never seen a ball go up over the restaurant in center field, and he's telling everybody.
Did you see that? That is far. What would be the distance there?
I don't know, Al. It's 408 to dead center.
Yeah, 450.
Maybe, yeah. High fly ball. Left field. And they're 1 out. There's 1 out. Now, at the old stadium, the black was the landing area of prodigious home runs. The first guy to ever do it was our partner Kenny Singleton. When the new place opened, now it's the old place, but it was a new place then. Russell Branyan is the only guy to hit the restaurant, the black of the restaurant, in a game. So that could be the new black. People have hit it over the 408 mark and into Monument Park, but hitting the blacks is one guy, Russell Branyan. Swing and a miss. Well, this was the thing that caused all the problems on Wednesday, Al.
Look where Wieters is setting up way away. He just hooks the ball. actually pulled across his body and yanked it.
Count 1-1. Swing and a miss. Guthrie's one of those guys that has stuff that would dictate that he should win games. Now, he's not pitching on a great team, but he should win more than he does. He should be more consistent than he is. But he's never been able to harness all that potential and turn it into a winning pitcher. A consistent winning pitcher.
Well, he's a Stanford guy, and he's very cerebral and really works on the mechanics and talks about mechanics often. But you wonder, as to support what you say, Mike, he was a #1 draft pick out of college in 2002 by the Indians, and the Indians just let him go in 2007. The Orioles picked him up on waivers.
Swing and a miss. And he doesn't do well against the AL East. That's not fair, though, because those three teams are very good. Yankees, he's 3-7 against them, 1-5 against the Red Sox, 3-7 against the Rays. He's 20-18 against all other teams, 3.99. I look at him, though, with his stuff, see if you agree with me. And if he ends up on the Cardinals, Dave Duncan turns him into an 18-game winner. And that's no knock on Rick Kranitz, but it seems like Duncan has that solution for everybody. Look what he's doing with Brad Penny now. Look what he did with Joel Pinheiro.
Woody Williams, Todd Stottlemyre, who's the guy?
Chris Carpenter.
Suppan.
Yeah,
just on and on. You know, you say that, and it's nothing against a Rick Kranitz or any coach. The message is basically the same. It's how it's delivered, and you're right. What Duncan has done with those Cardinals stats.
Off the glove of a diving Atkins, and it trickles down the right field line. Nick Swisher thought about two, but he'll stay right there. Swisher, who has never really hit well here at Yankee Stadium, he's turned it around over the last couple of days.
He sure has. Against the White Sox, he had a heck of a series. This is a nice play just for Atkins to knock the ball down. That ball not knocked down, Swisher easily would have gone into second base for a double. A couple steps. He was playing pretty close to the line, guarding the line as it is. Atkins in a platoon situation, hasn't been playing every day.
Swisher is 6 for his last 10. Here's Brett Gardner, who is 6 for his last 11. Since April 17th, not too long ago, today's April 3rd, Gardner is 20 for 50. Today's May 3rd, I'm sorry. 20 for 50, so he's hitting 400 over that time.
Just looks so comfortable up there, Michael. Go back to a couple nights ago where Matt Thornton, a hard-thrown left-handed reliever with the White Sox, just battled. Gardner did, and hot smash past the shortstop. I just thought everything about the at-bat was great. And he's not only hitting right-handers, he's hitting left-handers as well. With the home run off Mark Burley yesterday. A good major league starting pitcher. And really, that's really all it takes in a lot of instances, especially with a young player trying to get his feet underneath him and be comfortable as a major league hitter and getting the opportunity. Look at the left hand, 409. And much of this game is about confidence. And you could be a 10, 15-year veteran. If you're in a slump or you're not doing well, it becomes a mental thing. And then you start to work harder on your mechanics, and it gets worse.
Count 3-1 on Gardner.
Ooh, let's see this. Oh, yeah. Off the plate.
And he walks Gardner. So at the bottom of the order, with 2 outs, Swisher, infield single, and Gardner a walk. That's going to bring up Randy Wynn. Stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Jeter and Kevin Long always get along. They feed off each other as Long is behind the batting cage and Jeter's in there. Has a good relationship with all of his players. Here's Randy Winn. This is an opportunity for Randy Winn now, as Randy Winn can earn some playing time. Swing and a miss. With the injury to Granderson, left field is open, and Tim's going to play against lefties. Randy Winn can get opportunities against righties, and since 75% of starters are right-handed, he'll play a lot. Now, he's a switch hitter, though, and he also has to be a better defensive player than Marcus Timms. This is a good chance for Winn. There's ground ball to first. Atkins is there, and he will beat Winn to the bag for the final out of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. 1-0 Orioles. Most of the news was about Javier Vasquez as the Orioles lead this one 1-0 top of the third. Joe Girardi announced that Javi Vasquez was not going to pitch Friday. That's where his turn would fall against the Red Sox at Fenway. And he's going to pitch Monday in Detroit against the Tigers instead. But there's a lot of layers to this story, and let's try to cover them all as the Stories digs in. Pitches low and inside. Kimberly Jones down the third base camera well. Kim, what do you make of this? What's behind the decision?
Well, Joe Girardi said, Michael, he wants to give Javi a couple of days to catch his breath. With his next start coming a week from tonight, Javi will also throw 2 bullpen sessions, one tomorrow, one Friday, that Joe described as harder and more intense than a regular side session. Joe simply saying we have to get this guy figured out. He is struggling so much. But he talked to Javi today, and Javi said, I want to get right back out there. Those are exactly the same comments Javi made Saturday after his start. So Javi staying consistent. Sounds like he did not want to skip a turn. Javi did not talk to the media before the game today, but Joe said he told Vasquez, just as he told us, I think you need a couple of days to catch your breath. We're going to give those to you.
Now, Kim, the Yankees were very forthright about all of this before the game. There was no subterfuge at all. They just came out and they were saying this is the way it is. Now, let me ask you, are they skipping him in Boston because they don't want him to face the Red Sox per se, or do they want him to get 2 bullpens in?
Well, it's a good question, Michael, one that was asked of Joe. He said probably they would have skipped Vasquez no matter the opponent this weekend. Brian Cashman, however, said of Fenway Park that is certainly a difficult place to get yourself figured out in. But then he added his start's going to come against Detroit, and the Tigers' offense is on fire right now. So Brian Cashman also said, interestingly, Michael, next Monday he's not looking for a bam, lights out start from Javi Vasquez as his tourist grounds out. He said, we're just looking for something to hang our hat on and say that was better. Cashman said it's going to take longer than 4 days to get this straightened out.
Now, Brian Cashman is the guy who made the deal for Vasquez to bring him back here for the second time, the deal over the winter with the Braves. And he was actually honest about Vasquez's performance so far as well.
Yeah, he was. And Vasquez told us earlier in April, Michael, midway through April, these are easily correctable mechanics. I've had this issue every season, including last year when he put up such great numbers. But I asked Brian Cashman today, is this the same pitcher you saw pitch for the Braves last season and you traded for this offseason? Cashman simply said he's not the same pitcher right now. No.
Good stuff, Ken. This is a story that will continue to unfold, and we thank you for coming on. We'll see you in the postgame.
All right, Michael. See you then.
All right, Al, let's get your take on this. Was this a good move by the Yankees to skip over him on Friday?
Yeah, you asked that question to me yesterday or the day before, and I think it's good, Michael. Having been there, realizing that you're struggling, there's nothing to hide. You're just trying to work out of it. I totally get what Joe Girardi's talking about. When you have side days between your start, you pitch your 100+ whatever it is today, say for CC. Tomorrow you do a little long toss, and then the second day you have a side day. Depending upon how good or bad that start was will determine the effort of your side day. In most cases, a guy will throw maybe 10 minutes, light throwing, maybe get up to about 80%. If there was a curveball issue or whatever secondary pitch.
Bunted foul by Adam Jones.
And then that's it. You go do your run-in, your weights, you get in the weight room, you get with strength condition coordinator the whole bit, and then you do a little. You'll basically play catch the third and fourth day, and then you get ready for your fifth day. This is something where Dave Island, the pitching coach, could really hone in and do some significant work, if you will. two nice side days for Dave to say, hey, look, you know I've been talking about sitting back and we're getting underneath, pushing the ball. We'll try this or whatever. And again, we're not talking about a guy who just got called up maybe a year or two ago. This is a bona fide major league pitcher who has a track record and has been good. I think it's good. I do. Just hopefully for Javi's sake and the Yankees that he takes this opportunity, finds that something, and turns it around.
Here's the thing that I don't understand, though, and this is the thing I think what's on everybody's mind. Okay, he's going to have extra time in the bullpen now. What if the problem is mental? What are the time in the bullpen?
Well, but during this period of time, you get a chance to clear it out. Maybe talk to different people, and that's part of it. It's mental for even if you don't miss a start, if you have a bad start or two, or as a player you go for 1 for 24. It's a constant grind. That's the difference between your mediocre and elite players, to be able to be mentally tough when times aren't going well.
Now, how about the mental aspect of being skipped for a Yankee Red Sox game? Now, even though the Red Sox are 7 out now and they just got swept by the Orioles and they've got their own issues, it's still the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Big marquee matchup. This is what the Yankees live for, to play under the bright lights of Fenway or Yankee Stadium. You think it's an insult to Javi Vasquez? Does this hurt him worse?
No, it doesn't matter.
Have you ever been skipped over start?
Yes, and I wish I remembered when, and it was into my career, and it wasn't when I was 39 years old. It was somewhere where I would view in my prime, in my early 30s or late 20s. And yeah, you're struggling. It's part of it. It really is. Unfortunately, it's part of it because you'd like to have your guy. I'll never forget Joe Altobelli, how fitting. Orioles here. He was a longtime minor league coach. He said, Al, I always thought of this in your 5 starts. I would break your season down in increments of 5 starts because it's roughly a month's worth of starts. 2, you're going to be stellar, you're going to win. The other 2, you're going to be so-so, maybe get a no decision, maybe get a loss, maybe get a win. And the last one, you stink. You throw it out. In that scenario, you're going to be 18, 11, 18, and 12. In that, you map that out over a 6-month period. So you kind of play in that mindset. So when you have 4 or 5 consecutive bad starts, you're in a slump. You have to find a way to get out of it.
And Javi right now is 1-4 with an over 9 ERA. The 2-2 is inside 3-2. And the one thing that people don't understand, because they don't see it, he's a really, really good guy. Yeah. He's a guy that you want to see do well. He doesn't have an attitude. He's not snapping at people. He's not blaming anybody. And the bottom line is, he wants to do so well that sometimes it plays against you.
Well, I think Nick Swisher, what did he say yesterday in the postgame with Kim Jones?
He said, whenever you're slumping, you think more, and the more you think, the more you slump.
Well, the harder you work.
The harder you work.
Yeah.
Whenever you're slumping, the harder you work. The harder you work, the more you slump.
Loved it, because you end up thinking about things that you think will get you out of it, and you dig a deeper hole. It's interesting, everybody watches baseball. I think these are great players and it's easy. It's not. Sometimes they make it look real easy.
3-2. Long at bat for Jones, and Sabathia wins that battle. 2 away. Now the Yankees, for the Boston series, that was an 8-pitch at bat, have Phil Hughes going on Friday, Sabathia going on Saturday, A.J. Burnett going on Sunday. And the Red Sox are a little in flux right now, so it could either be Beckett on Friday or Matsuzaka. Probably going to be Matsuzaka. And, the Red Sox are not playing well right now. They'd be the first to admit it. Could be Beckett. If it's Beckett, this is the way it breaks down. If it's Matsuzaka, then Beckett will go on Saturday and Buchholz on Sunday, and they'll miss Lester. But the 3 for the Yankees, that's set. And combined, they're 9-1. That's not a bad 3 to throw. Here's Nick Markakis. Driven to right field. It's going to be a base hit. It'll be 1 hop up against the wall. Playing it out there is Nick Swisher. Comes up throwing, but Markakis in with a double.
Nick Markakis getting a fastball on the inside part of the plate, pulling his hands in. The old down and in is a sweet spot for any major league left-handed batter. Swisher makes a nice little scoop play here. Just Markakis a little too fast. Easy getting in there for a double. That's his 3rd hit off of CC based on this start, and also 5 days ago in Baltimore.
Here's a tough Ty Wigginton. And a strike. Grounded. Oh, nice play by Alex Rodriguez on a tough hop. Saved a run right there and ends the inning. No runs to hit, no errors, and one man left. This came up a little higher and quicker than he wanted to. But in Yesmo, looks kind of easy. This moment in Yankees history brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Back in 1951, Yankee rookie Gil McDougall ties an Major League Baseball record with 6 ribbies in one inning in a 17-3 win over the Browns. The Browns, the forerunners to the Baltimore Orioles. Well, we go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 Orioles. And Jeter wraps the first pitch to short. His Torres guns down the Yankee shortstop, 1 away. Guthrie at the new Yankee Stadium 0-2 with a 7.11 ERA. And he has pitched better on the road than at home. 16-15, 4.04 at away from Camden Yards, and in Camden Yards 11-22 with a 4.52. You think it's a small ballpark?
Yeah, not much of a shocker there. I think the Orioles have always had a difficult time signing big free agents without having to overpay. They just haven't been very good the last several years to even come close to spending a lot of money on a pitcher.
Whip foul. One of the things I never understood about the Orioles' decision-making process, because pitching is so hard to come by, you develop a pitcher, you have to keep that pitcher. How they could have ever let Mike Messina get away and sign with a division rival. It made no sense, and Messina had 8 outstanding years for the Yankees, and that was their guy. They drafted him, they developed him. Didn't make sense. You got to keep your own. I mean, they're certainly at Camden Yards. They're not considered a small market team. They can afford to sign Mike Messina.
But if you remember, that was really at the tail end of what really took place there for a handful of years. Mid 90s through the late, 97 was about the last 98. Really quality year that they've had.
Kind of coincided when he left.
Well, true.
Yeah.
True. No, you don't let.
Can't lose an ace. I mean, that guy's an ace. He's #1 pitcher.
Borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of guy, Guthrie, where in places like that, I think, Michael, of Colorado, where you try to bring in guys that, how do you keep it in the park? Sinker guys, sinker slider. Where you stay away from the hanging curveball guy, or maybe even float a changeup. And Guthrie has been that guy. He just hasn't been consistent enough for them.
Mark Teixeira struck out in the first inning. Driven down the left field line, giving chases Martinez out of play. I talked to your old manager, Bobby Valentine, today.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the mental aspect of baseball. And he said, you know what, players will always deny that there's nothing to it, that they don't get psyched out by things. He said, but how do you explain that Mark Teixeira had 11 hits in April, and he had 6 hits and 9 at-bats in May? All of a sudden in May, he said he started hitting. He said it has to be something to it. It's a mental aspect of the game that you just have to accept and embrace. He is 0 for 2 tonight as Ty Wigginton puts that away as the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3, an 8-pitch inning for Guthrie. 2 infielders want the put out. Only one gets it, the second baseman. Guthrie has hit 9 Yankees during the regular season. Which active pitcher has hit the most Yankees? We'll find that out in the bottom of the 4th. Miguel Tejada will lead off. And the pitch outside. 1-0. Tejada grounded to short. That was in the first. Second tour of duty with the Orioles. Spent a couple of years with the Astros. Signed here as a free agent. 1-year deal. Play third base. That transition has not gone that smoothly. But he's here to hit. And he's batting cleanup. Obviously, they don't want him to be a complete hack at third base. In his last 10 games, 7 of those multi-hit games, 436. Nobody ever denied the fact this guy can hit. He was a pretty good shortstop, too. Count 3-0.
Especially against left-handers. This year, like no one other year, 389 against left-handed pitchers. You know what he does? I thought, just haven't seen and faced him enough. He's a guy that really, really waits as long as he possibly can. Really knows the pitcher, will spin on a guy if he thinks it's going to come inside. So many hits to right field. Those are your toughest outs as a pitcher. To see the guy, you could see when they're tracking the ball, they wait as long as they can and not afraid to just throw a little base hit to right field.
Saw the real good numbers against Sabathia for Tejada. Takes it the other way and grounds it to second. One out. If you watch CC, if you come out to the ballpark, whenever the ball is thrown around the infield, he will never catch the ball from Alex Rodriguez with his glove. He will always catch it barehanded every single time. Never uses his glove. There's Matt Wieters. He's the only person who put a run on the board with a home run in the second to right field.
You know, there are certain guys when you just see their presence and size, you just say, okay, that's a ball player. And just watching him take batting practice and his disposition, boy, he's a big guy. And obviously the strength. Now here at Yankee Stadium, that's the easiest way to go out here at right field. You still got to be strong. And it's just a matter of time for this guy to grow into him being a Major League All-Star.
Count 3-0 now to Wieters. So far, Sabathia does not seem as sharp as he's been in the past. Doesn't have the great command, falling behind on several hitters. He'll come back and throw strikes, but he's not hitting the corners as he usually does. There's a strike, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Last week, 7 2/3 innings, he scattered 11 hits through 111 pitches. I was angry when he got taken out, and I asked him why. He said, I wasn't an angry Joe. I was angry at myself the way I pitched. We gave the Yankees length when they needed it. 3-1. Bill Hahn in no hurry to call strikes in the count 3-2.
That was a good fastball right there. Best fastball of the night, 95 miles an hour. To your point, Michael, so far CC has been behind, and because of that, he's been throwing more fastballs. Been seeing of late more changeups and sliders.
Grounded foul outside of third.
Took a little off there. You talk about CC Sabathia from 2007 through the World Series last year, 779 innings. Just a horse. I mean, just a true front end guy. Of where you not only you want your ace to stop losing streaks and really be the guy to slow things down and get a win, but give innings.
There's a ground ball to short. Now check it out. Alex will have the ball, and he will toss it to CC, who will never have it in his glove.
Now, does he always walk that close? He must, right?
He doesn't always walk that close, no. But even no matter how long the distance, he will not catch it with his glove. Just a superstition. So Alex is not going to fire it at him, I don't think. Here's Garrett Atkins.
Getting so many more ground balls. CC Sabathia of his 11 outs, 8 of them are ground outs. That's that good combination. Hard fastball and then the changeup out in front. His ground ball ratio is higher than it's ever been in his career.
That one is past third base and kicks off the wall in left field. And they're going to hold Atkins to a single. Atkins not very fortunate. Hits a bullet down third base, but it kicks off that wall rather than going into the corner.
Atkins struggling, but he's done well against CC. 625 coming into today. His first at bat, he ended up striking out. There's that ball caroming off that wall before it goes down to the left field fence. Good break for the Yankees.
Third hit allowed by Sabathia. He's thrown 63 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th. Here's Reimold. Popped up. Shallow right. Gonna be tough. And Nick Swisher can't make the play, but backing up nicely is Cano. Throws to second. And Reimold's in there with a double. As Atkins stops at third. That was in no man's land. Cano couldn't get it, and neither could Swisher, but Cano hustled to back up Swisher.
Well, and also too, it was a big swing, and see if we can get the reaction where Swisher was playing was deep enough. And anytime there's a big swing from a big hitter, there's a little bit of a hesitation from the outfield, making it close here. Once Swisher realized, okay, he's not going to get it and keep it in front of you, he did the best he could. Not able to. Let's hear off the end of the bat, a little changeup. And that ball just dunking in front of Swisher. Realizing after the effort, Reimold had a shot at getting a second as he did.
There's a fly ball shallow center. Backing up Cano, and he'll put it away to retire Montanez for the final out of the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 O's. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. In his career, Jeremy Guthrie has hit 9 Yankees during the regular season. Now, which active pitcher has hit the most Yankees? The answer is Tim Wakefield, but they didn't feel it 13 times. Those weren't on purpose either.
What, the floated changeup or knuckleball?
Yep.
Nope.
Alex Rodriguez up 1-0 in the count as Guthrie deals. Guthrie's dealing today. Changing speeds, throwing strikes.
Pulled the string there on Alex. You know, you talk about hitting guys. Any successful major league pitcher has to come inside. There's a difference between coming in and then being reckless when you come inside, to where you want to move the feet of a hitter. As a pitcher, they always want the understanding that a hitter knows that there's a pitcher on the mound with a baseball.
Alex has been stuck on 585 home runs. He's one away from tying Oriole great Frank Robinson for 7th place on the all-time home run list. Oriole and Cincinnati Red great. Managed the Indians as a player manager. Two-two. Line drive, a base hit to left field. So Alex Rodriguez with a single. Let's check out how that at bat took place with the pitch by pitch, brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Well, Guthrie went right after Alex Rodriguez with a fastball to get in the count, down in the zone. This little changeup out in front, you see Alex on his front foot. Another changeup down and away, and then that fastball in, trying to clear. He fights it off on the inside part of the plate, and he comes back with a changeup, kind of doing Alex a favor. That tough fastball in, the slow rotation of this changeup out over the plate. Alex being slightly out front, but the barrel of the bat being able to hit the good part of the wood there. Nice approach.
Here's Robinson Cano. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to left field, giving chase Montanez. And he'll put it away for the first out. So Cano has had a fly out to left field twice. He's 0 for 2. Here's Jorge Posada. Count 1-0.
Posada yesterday had a good approach, staying on the baseball, some hard line drives in left field. Let's see the approach. Guthrie struggling against left-handers. If he stays away, Posada go to left field.
Hit sharply, knocked down by Wigginton. He'll have the play on Posada. Took a single away from the Yankee catcher as Rodriguez moves to second.
Boy, he smoked this one here. One hop. Wigginton just getting in front of it enough to knock it down. Hit on the heel of his glove. Well struck ball. There, the Yesmo. You didn't even see that ball into the glove. It was hit that hard.
By the way, part ownership of Yesmo is Mariano Rivera. What's happened?
It's good stuff.
Here's Swisher. Nick singled out the glove of the first baseman Atkins in the second. And a strike.
Nick Swisher. See how he's putting his bat on the back there. I was talking to Kevin Long about that. He's just saying that, you know, the hitters try different things. They're just saying makes him relax a little bit. He had a good series against the White Sox. These are little nuances here. The Orioles are in town. There's a guy, Cal Ripken, as everybody knows, a baseball fan. He used to change his stance during the game, changing different things. But this is just something where Nick said, you know, it makes me feel comfortable and relaxed. You know what? If it works, go with it.
Well, when he did the on-field interview with Kimberly Jones after the game, he said, I'm just a lot more quiet at the plate. He said he was too amped up, and he had to calm himself down and just be more quiet. He's certainly done that. And resting the bat on his shoulder gives him a little zen moment.
Yeah.
Do you believe in zen moments, Al?
I do.
Do you have zen moments?
All the time.
Really?
Just had one. Well, especially for as hyper as I am, you got to find some way to calm down. You're a hyper guy, no?
Yeah, pretty much. That one is driven to right field, deep. Going back, Markakis. He's going to have to play it off the wall. Nick Swisher with a very long RBI single as Alex Rodriguez scores. It is a 1-1 game. Swisher missed a 2-run home run by a couple of feet.
Smiling there. He's in a zen moment. Relaxed, comfortable. Gets a hanging breaking ball. As Michael said, you see Guthrie holding up, realizing right field being short porch. Beautiful swing, foot down, finishing high. Nice, quiet. What's a balance to it all? Up. Let's see how far away from this was being a home run. Not too far at all.
Looked like at the top of the S in W.B. Mason.
A lot of top spin on that hit.
Count 1-0. Well, Swisher has now driven in a run in 3 straight games. Oh, so it's between the A and the S. There it is.
It's a couple feet. Yeah, maybe a foot.
Boy, he really does well against Guthrie. 2 home runs, 12 for 23.
That take right there by Brett Gardner, how comfortable he is. He's got a 2-0 count. Just wasn't able to pull the trigger. That ball a little too far in for his liking.
2-1. Line drive, a foul ball. Hey, Spike Lee's at the game. There he is. On the Yankee dugout. Spike. Boy, does he put up with some bad basketball at the Garden the last couple of years.
Front row there, right?
And he pays for those.
How about these?
I don't know. I haven't gotten a statement. That one is punched into center field. It is a base hit. So Gardner continues his hot hitting. He now has a 6-game hitting streak.
Wow, hot. Pulls his hands in on a slider previous. This is a changeup. He's already committed off the end of the bat. His front side is already open. When you're going good like the way Gardner is and some of these Yankee hitters are, the ball will fall in.
.351 for Gardner. .429 on base percentage. I'd say that's pretty good. And here's Randy Winn. Winn last year, if you didn't follow him, was with the San Francisco Giants. As Wieters goes out to talk with Guthrie. And he hit .262, 2 homers, which was low for him. He's usually a double-figure home run guy, but not high double figures, 10, 12, 14. Had a bad power year. 51 runs batted in 149 games. He's an everyday player. This is the first time he's really come off the bench. Switch hitter. Happens to be a very good outfielder. But he's been having a hard time being a bench player. And that's what he signed with the Yankees to be. But he's going to get a chance to play more. High fly ball. Deep to right center. Going back Jones. Looking up. See ya. 3-run home run. Randy Winn. And the Yankees lead 4-1. First home run as a Yankee, and Al, this is his chance now to make some hay with this team.
And you've been saying it, and this is an opportunity for him. Really hard for a guy that's been a starter his whole career to be relegated. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Got the good barrel of the bat on it. It's a Coors Light blast here. This was a blast into the Yankee bullpen.
It's a cold, hard blast.
2 home runs for San Francisco last year. Not a home run hitter. Certainly good for him.
It's his first home run in 491 at-bats. Class act, good guy, and I know his teammates want him to do well. Signed with the Yankees a 1-year deal and didn't exactly know how involved his role would be. But with the injury to Granderson, he could see a lot more time than he was going to. His last home run was April 25th of last year, so it's been over a calendar year since he hit one out.
And he had 538 bats last year, Michael. The year before, 598. Here's a guy with used to almost 600 at bats a year for the last 3 or 4 years. That's the hardest thing for him, and he doesn't, he's a class act, as you say, professional, getting his time in the cage, trying to simulate as best he can.
He's also the only active player in the major leagues that's a member of the Baseball Assistants Team Board of Directors. So it means something to him. The legacy of the game means something to him. Supporting those less fortunate, giving money to that cause, and the big bat dinner they have in New York City. Randy Winn, the only active player. There's a ground ball right side, and off the glove of Wigginton as Jeter will reach. We'll see how they score that. Now, we've shown you Exmo during the game. Watch the Exmo or the Yesmo on the slap on the helmet by Gardner. Smash. Wow.
And a grimace.
And not a flinch. And Joe Girardi and Kevin Long liking what they see. Hey, it's good to see Gene Monahan back in the dugout. So Rick Kranitz comes out and talks with Guthrie. They're going to score that in E4. There's Gino, the great Gene Monahan, who's been battling neck cancer, and he's finished with his treatments now, and it's great to see him.
Yes.
So an E4 charge to Wigginton as Johnson, the 8th Yankee to come to the plate. So the crowd comes alive with the 3-run home run by Winn. Nick walked and a decent fly ball to center field. Waiting to make his contribution. He finally does here in the 4th inning. And CC Sabathia, the beneficiary. Hit hard into center field, but Adam Jones right there. But the Yankees get 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. The big blow off the bat of the switch hitter, Randy Winn, from the left side into the seats and right. 3-run shot. 4-1, Yankees lead. Well, thank you, Bob. Boy, the Red Sox really need a win. They are 7 out already just at the start of May. They're in 4th place. The Blue Jays 5.5 out. Yankees a game and a half behind the Rays. Rays lost 2 out of 3 to the Royals and actually won yesterday 1-0. And the Orioles 11 back.
Lowell batting in the middle of that lineup now after having been on the bench in the beginning part of the year. Played first base. David Ortiz still struggling.
After being swept by the Orioles, Red Sox GM Theo Epstein, tore into his team. Said they're playing uninspired, unintelligent baseball. We're not going to put up with it. Either they change it or we'll change it. And you know what? He's not afraid. He's got the job security. He will break it down and tear it up.
Who are they going to get rid of?
You can get rid of a lot of people.
Yeah. So just start over?
Well, they wouldn't start over, but remember when they suffered that terrible loss here at Yankee Stadium in 2004, he traded Nomar Garciaparra. You can trade Nomar Garciaparra, you can trade anybody. And they ended up winning the World Series that year. The 2-2. 3-2 to Astures.
No, I get the whole tough talk, because certainly most people in baseball still view the Red Sox as right up there with the Yankees and Tampa, the 3 best teams in the American League. The pitching has not been good consistently enough. David Ortiz, thought about, maybe he kind of resurrected it the second half with his power numbers being up.
Ground ball to Jeter. 1 out. That's a strange mix that the Red Sox have. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out of it, if they come out of it. We're going to be there on Friday night, Al. You ready?
Yes.
You got your suit picked out?
That place. Not yet.
Okay. It's got to be a big one, big audience,
What do you got going?
I think I'm going to go with the blue pinstripe. Yeah, navy blue pinstripe.
I go with the tweed.
Okay. And then you walk across the quad at Harvard. Patches on the elbow.
MIT.
MIT, okay. Adam Jones, hi, 1-0. One thing bad about the Yankee Red Sox series, and I'm sure you think this way as well, they're always so popular that we don't get a chance to do all the games. So we do Friday, and then Saturday's a Fox game, and then Sunday is an ESPN game. And we just become spectators, which is not bad either, but kind of want to work those games.
There you go. Check out Cape Cod, Beantown. Go get yourself a nice little bowl of chata. Walk the Commons.
High fly ball, deep center, backing up Gardner, still back, and he makes the play in front of the Stanley sign for the second out. Just a reminder, this weekend the Yankees are back at Fenway, and Yes is there. Complete coverage of Game 1 starts Friday at 6. Then, Al and I are not involved, but Saturday and Sunday, turn back to Yes after the games for our interactive post-game show. It's called Yankees Extra Innings. I watched it when the Yankees are in California, and it was great. Email or tweet your thoughts and have your questions answered by the Yes team. It all starts Friday at 6 right here on Yes. It's like you are part of the show.
Awesome.
It is very cool. Very cool show.
This ball off of Adam Jones's bat just kept drifting. Watching Gardner from here, realizing he kept going further than I think he thought it was going to go, and ended up being right up against that Stanley sign there, left center field.
One count on Marquez, who's 1 for 1 with a walk. Doubled his last time up. And there's a ground ball to second. Cano is right there. And a 1-2-3 inning for CC and the Yankees. 4.5 in the books. We're halfway through. Yankees lead 4-1. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question: Jamie Moyer got win number 261 last night at the age of 47. And the question is, will he get to 300? You've been texting us at 58772. Wow. Overwhelmingly no. It's a numbers game there. He's 47. He needs 39 wins. That doesn't compute. Teixeira takes a pitch outside. Check this out, how Cano watches this throw on the last out of the top of the fifth. He watches it. Eye right on the ball.
Even the infielders watch. A lot of the middle infielders do a little flick throw, drop their arm down. The strain on the elbow.
The 2-2. Big swing and a foul tip.
You mentioned last inning or two about the mindset of a player, and there's some guys that are admitting to knowing the mental side of the game and try to eliminate it. Teixeira is one of those guys that wants to not let people think that it is a mental thing.
Fly ball center field. Jones.
But in agreement with, I guess Bobby Valentine had mentioned, there's definitely times in which you realize, you know, if I can clear my mind of any of the negative thoughts and whatever will justify reasons as to why I can turn it around and be better at it. I know some guys, you know, this is a superstitious game. Some guys will, you know, wear certain shirts. You mentioned about Sabathia catching the ball in between each inning from A-Rod at third base. Whatever it takes, and if you're going to be open about it and discuss it like a Nick Swisher, or you're going to, you know, say what Teixeira says, no, I didn't know what date it was. You know, in the end, whatever works for you. I played with a guy, Dwayne Ward, who wore the same undershirt for 5 or 6 years.
Did it get clean?
Yeah, it would get clean, but he would darn it himself. Oh, really? Too. There were holes all over the place. I mean, just really superstitious kind of mindset, jumping over lines and all that.
I mean, one of the greatest superstitions, and it comes from a Hall of Famer, is Wade Boggs. Grounded to third. Tejada. Every day of his career, he ate chicken. Every day. He even put out a cookbook because he was superstitious. And this was a game. When the Yankee games at night would start at 7:30, he would have to run his sprints at 7:17, and if the players wanted to freak him out, they'd block his way out of the dugout. But he'd make his way out on the field. It had to be 7:17. So there's a lot of superstition in this game.
Ed Farmer was telling me when he was Ed Farmer does the radio for the Chicago White Sox. He was a pitcher, a big league pitcher. He was teammates with Mike Schmidt, and Mike Schmidt would have the clubhouse guy go out to the parking lot at Veterans Stadium and turn his car in certain ways based on whether you get a hit or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now we have to watch what's going on here. Francisco Cervelli on deck with Posada due up next. find out as soon as we can what's up with that. And obviously we'll have more information on the post-game show with Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones. One. High pop-up is Turris. Will make the play, and Guthrie works a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. We played 5 at the stadium. 4-1 Yanks. Well, we go to the 6th inning here at the stadium. Yankees are leading 4-1. Joe Girardi is doing some jogging and getting Francisco Cervelli his mask. Cervelli is taking over behind the plate for Posada. Don't know what's going on. As soon as we find out, if anything is going on, don't know. We will get it to you as soon as we can. So Cervelli behind the plate in place of Posada. And Cervelli will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees lead 4-1 here in the top of the 6th. Here's Ty Wigginton. Count 1-0. Another broken bat for Wigginton. And there's one away. Francisco Cervelli almost beat Wigginton to first base. He took off to back up first, and Wigginton, because he broke his bat, didn't get a real good jump out of the batter's box. And Cervelli has fresh legs. He just got in the game.
And he's faster than Wigginton. You know, the part of we'll find out what happened to Posada, but part of a pregame scatter report, you bring in both catchers aside from the pitching coach and the bullpen coach to go over the scatter report for a given lineup. So there isn't really a blip on the screen when it comes to scatter report between Cervelli and CC.
Let's take a look at Cervelli running down the first. And he's in front of Wigginton. He goes a little bit far right, otherwise he would have beaten him. And there's a strike. You see Tejada talking to himself. You ever talk to yourself on the baseball field?
Yeah, all the time.
How about when you're alone?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Do you?
No. I think to myself. I don't actually speak out loud.
No, speak out loud. No.
Grounded up the middle and through for base hit. I remember you talking to yourself on the mound.
Yeah. Another ground ball. How about this? He's got 15 outs. Now 16 outs. 11 ground ball outs. Just out of the outstretched reach of Jeter.
Here's Wieters with a home run in the 2nd inning, then grounded to short. Count 1-0. And CeCe's asking Bill Hahn, where was that?
Up, I would guess. Strike zone's now been lower. Now, I guess I'm going back a long time ago where they had the old chest protector. Literally, you'd get the belt tie above to the letters. Anything above that mask now is a ball. Ooh.
All right, so he tried high, now he tried low. He's got to go right somewhere in the middle.
That ball was off the plate, away.
CeCe at 84 pitches. Popped up to Shera. Gives it a look, but on the roof of the Yankee dugout.
This year, coming into tonight's start, CC Sabathia, 54% of his outs have been ground balls. In his career, that's 10% higher this year than in all years past.
What do you make of that?
Well, I make it of that last pitch, Michael. He's got great stuff all the way around, but I think it's that changeup, and we've seen a few outs tonight of hitters being out front on the all-speed pitch. Went fastball away, fastball up, fastball away, and then came back with that changeup. Has more inclined for hitters to be out front on the front foot and hit a ground ball. And I just think as CC gets older and evolves into more of a veteran pitcher, maybe velocity-wise, although tonight he had some 95s, there was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, throwing more of that changeup.
This could be a double play. There's one, and there's two. A 6-4-3 double play to get out of the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Yankees lead 4-1. Time now for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Yankees leading 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Hey, there's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar situated in center field in Yankee Stadium. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
Fun. Gotta get out there and watch.
Sun, yeah. We got a couple of places, yeah.
A lot of cool spots here to watch the game.
Here's Francisco Cervelli. Took over in the top of the inning for Posada behind the plate, waiting word on what the deal is. Posada was 0 for 2 while he was in there. And there's a strike. Count 1-1. Guthrie put in a pretty solid effort. Made one mistake, and that was to Randy Wynn. Yankees did all their damage with 2 outs in the fourth. Wynn hit a 3-run home run. And a strike.
Every pitch for any pitcher, but I think so. There's many reasons why it's tough to pitch this Yankee lineup. I think you don't get much of a reprieve, but even if you view as the bottom of the order as being easier than the top of the order, there's a certain mental letdown. And I think that's the opportunity for the 7, 8, 9 guys in this Yankee lineup to really take advantage of mistakes. There's a 1-0 fastball that Randy Wynn connected on. I think Brett Gardner's approach has been excellent.
So the count is full at 3-2 on Cervelli. His first at bat of the night. Grounded to third. Tejada. 1 out.
This Friday, she's a rapper, an actress, a producer, and a businesswoman. Now Queen Latifah sits down for a new GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael K. From rags to riches and albums to Oscar nominations, the Queen covers it all in an all-new Center Stage. Friday night at 11, only on Yes.
You gonna promise to watch that? No, you can't because you'll be in Boston, but tape it, all right?
I will.
DVR
I'll get Lori to tape it.
All right. She's from Newark.
Oh.
Yeah. And she has a new movie coming out where there's like a love triangle with a basketball player, and the basketball player plays for the New Jersey Nets. Oh, yeah. We get into everything.
Cool.
She's very cool.
I will tape it.
The name of the film is Just Right.
You love that show. You did.
WRIGHT.
I know you praise the shows at different levels, but you really like that.
She was very, very funny and sharp and good things to say. Good life story. And as I mentioned, 2 more coming up tomorrow that we're taking.
Oh, watch out. Bring your gloves.
Lindsey Vonn and Mike Tyson. So if I don't show up tomorrow, you're going to have to do the play-by-play. Why would Mike Tyson and I not get along? Kid from the Bronx, kid from Brooklyn.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Because you're polar opposites.
What are we polar opposites? What does that mean?
He was a fighter and a boxer. You're a broadcaster.
The 0-2.
That's right. You were a tough kid from the Bronx. I forgot.
Okay, Tom's River. Must have been tough in Tom's River, huh?
It's tough.
Gang
Tough
of
down
toughs
there on the
roaming the
river.
street, yeah.
Yeah, the boardwalk gets tough at night.
I bet. The sun must beat down. It must be so hot. 1-2. 2-2.
Actually, it was all the northern New Jersey, New York kids coming down. Tough kids. You had to be tough down there.
Swisher gets out of the way. 3-2.
By design, to move with feet. Let's see if he goes with it either two-seamer away or changeup away. Like a little changeup.
You know, I mentioned before that the Red Sox got swept by the O's, and I said that Tampa Bay had lost 2 of 3 to the Kansas City Royals. And Kim Jones took great glee in telling me that it was split of a 4-game set.
She was happy
Yes,
about that.
she was gleeful. She scampered down from the top here. By the way, you were wrong. That's exactly what happened.
Well, because of the pitchers matchup. But thank you, Kim.
So I stand, or at this point,
Wade
corrected.
Davis, how about that? Tampa,
He
young
really pitched well.
rookie pitcher up against Zach Greinke. They got some arms down there.
3-2. Fouled away. Right now, their 4th and 5th starters might be their best pitchers, David Price and Wade Davis.
Well, when Evan Longoria in spring training said he thought that they had the best rotation in baseball. You always want your players to support you, but you know they're not brand name guys down there. Every guy up in that rotation. Matt Garza. You mentioned about David Price, but arm-wise stuff, very good.
That one is rocketed into left center field. It is a base hit and it goes to the wall. Nick Swisher on fire picks up a 1-out double. A 10-pitch at bat, and Swisher wins the battle with Guthrie.
He's got to be feeling great. I'll tell you, after the foul ball with the fastball away and then the changeup combination, this was a hanging slider that ends up just spinning. I call it a cement mixer. It's a 10th pitch of this at bat. What a great at bat. Anytime you have a hitter to go deep into the count as Swisher just did. Mentioned that he had a great series against his old team, the Chicago White Sox, and now here 3-for-3 night. That balanced, relaxed approach certainly is working right now.
He is 8 for his last 12. That's hot. That's 667.
And sometimes that's all it takes. I know Kim Jones had talked to him during the White Sox series and playing against his old team and Ozzie Guillen, and he realized he wanted to do better here at the stadium. Didn't have a home run. I mean, I believe in that. The karma, mojo, whatever you want to call it. You start feeling good about what you're doing. It really translates into performance, execution, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. That's what these guys are trying to do. They practice hours every day preparing for this moment right here. Guthrie makes a pitch and what Gardner does with it, and then turn the page. And it's just a battle within the battle. I was kidding with Kevin Long, the hitting coach, that when Alberto Castillo, left-handed pitcher for the Orioles, warming up in the blowout game yesterday, I said, boy, you guys don't throw away at bats. You see major league hitters will talk about it often. They were winning 12-0 going into the 9th inning. He said, no, every battle is getting their pitch. And it's really a compliment to a lineup and a team as a whole. Something to be proud of if you're the hitting coach, that you could really have a tough time to say, hey, you know what, that at bat he may have thrown away, or hitters will admit to it. What was I thinking? I don't know. I just flailed at a pitch.
Count 2-2.
His fastball in, it got deep in the count. I think it was a 3-2 pitch. Mark Burley, quality major league starting pitcher, has got a perfect game, no hitter under his belt. Rocked it.
That was his first home run against a left-hander. 2-2. Fly ball center field. Adam Jones is there. Nick Swisher's trying to draw the throw, but Jones wasn't buying. 2 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Crowd at the stadium, 41,571 tonight.
Appreciating Randy Wynn's home run, 3-run homer.
And here is Randy Wynn. Big 3-run blast in the 4th. Broke a 1-1 tie. And that's where we are right now at 4-1. 2-0. Clay Meredith joins Alberto Castillo in the bullpen. Guthrie at 105 pitches. And the count 3-0 to the number 9 batter.
Well, this could be it for Guthrie. 106, 107 pitches. I don't know whether those last 2 pitches were changeups or not, but 86 miles an hour. His guide and aim in his fastball.
There's a strike. Along with Al Leiter and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for joining us on this Monday evening. There are our pictures. Love those. And the Yankees are leading the Orioles 4-1. Popped up. And that will do it. We have some information on Jorge Posada. We will get it to you in the top of the 7th inning. Stay right here. Yankees lead 4-1. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. This is beyond cable. This is Fios. Brian Mattis, he's good. 2-1, 4.40. He goes for the Orioles. AJ Burnett, he's good. 3-0, 2.43 goes for the Yankees. Our coverage begins at 6 on Yes with the BP show. 6:30 is a pregame show. I'd say 7:07 is our first pitch. Atkins leads off. Hot shot up middle, a base hit. Jorge Posada left the game with tightness in his right calf. He is undergoing an MRI tonight at New York Presbyterian Hospital. And maybe we'll have further word on how the MRI goes on the postgame with Kimberly Jones. So that's the situation with Posada and why he was taken out of the game. Verizon Wireless scoreboard. Each team with 6 hits, but the Yankees lead 4-1. The error didn't have anything to do with the scoring. This could be a double play. There's 1, and there's 2. He does get a lot more double plays than he used to, Al.
Well, as I said, last inning, 10% higher this year than in his entire career, 54%. It's because of that changeup, but watch the little 2-seam here at the very end. Well, it's hard to see at that speed, but it's a very end, a little late movement. All it takes is about an inch or 2. Once the Cervelli sets up, ball running away. Actually, that was a little higher than CC would like, but he got the ball on the outside corner. Reimold has been struggling all year. Pitch like that, normally a good hitter, or at least a guy that's locked in, would go the other way. But with Reimold batting at 182 clip right now, pull off that baseball.
Lou Montanez takes a pitch. High, 1-0.
Wow, you got that high?
I guess.
Yeah.
Where was it?
I don't know.
Checking out Jorge Posada, who's playing, or should I say Alex Rodriguez is playing deep.
You know why you got it high, Michael?
Why?
because of all of this stuff that you purchased. Look at this.
Now, who did I purchase it for?
I don't know, but I don't buy all this stuff.
Who did I purchase? This is a very.
First of all, I do Twizzlers.
These are very refreshing.
And Kim likes Mike and Eggs, but you came in with a plethora of sugar.
Well, because you and Kim had bought candy the last couple of days, so I bought candy for you.
Candy store.
You
love these.
You don't have Red Bull today, so I thought you needed a sugar infusion. Trying to help, you know.
Thanks, buddy.
Did you have the Junior Mint?
They're good.
Very refreshing. 3-0 count on Montanez. We're in the top of the 7th. Yankees are leading 4-1. 93rd pitch for Sabathia. There's a strike. I think Bill Hahn went to Tim McClellan's school of pitching. Now he's saying something to Sabathia. Now Sabathia's got his arms out. What are you talking about? And Girardi out quickly.
You know what he's saying? He's saying, you're calling that on a 3-0 pitch. What were you calling on the second pitch of this at bat?
And now he's taking a walk just to cool himself down.
And that's the frustrating thing as a pitcher or a hitter. You don't want the plate to move. All right, so that looks nice. That's a good. Let's see. This would be perfect here. Well, it's right on the corner. I think he's just. Well, he's not happy in the old yes mo. Look at that slow mo. You just.
So he's probably saying,
why
why am I in a 3-0 situation?
Right. You just don't want the plate to move. You want it. Okay, if you're going to call 3 inches outside, or you're not going to call belt high, but you'll call knee high, just let me know where it is. Because certain umpires have certain areas in which that they see the ball better. So you throw 2 pitches before, it's a ball, and now 3-0, it's a strike.
3-1. Now 3-2. I was about to say Hahn with the slow strike call, somewhat reminiscent of veteran umpire Tim McClellan. They take forever to raise their hand.
Nobody's slower than Timmy. Oh. You knew that as a pitcher. You stood there. What is it?
Crowd looking for the strikeout. Pitch inside.
95. That's a mad fastball right there.
What's a mad fastball?
Mad fastball where you're mad and you overthrow and you just want to just throw it through the mask and you don't care about where you're throwing it. Happens sometimes during a game where you just kind of lose your little bit of moxie and control. He threw 295 today, 95 mile an hour. One earlier, I think, in the 4th inning, and now here.
There's a strike to Cesar Estouris.
And also, too, you have Montanez. You just got a double play. You want to keep that pitch count down. CC's so cognizant of wanting to go deep into games, finish games. Yeah, they're extra pitches.
There's a chopper up the middle, and Cano will step on the bag, and that will do it. A 10-pitch inning for Sabathia, but he thought it should be a little bit less than that. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees are leading the Orioles 4-1, but we're going to stay right here on Yes as we honor America in the Bronx.
Remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now please join the late great Kate Smith for her rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the fight from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with gold. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Thank you, Bob. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Yankees are leading 4-1, and the top of the order, Derek Jeter starts it off against Guthrie, still in there. Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 4-1 Yankees. Jeter and his teammate Mark Teixeira both got their gold gloves before the game. Derek's his 4th, Mark's his 1st with the Yankees. And Jeter with a pop up the shallow center. Jones calls off his tourists. And there's one away.
Well, you mentioned Jeter with his 4th gold glove, but boy, what, Teixeira has meant, certainly offensively, and he's coming around after his cold month of April, but how important the defense is for any ball club at first base, and sometimes overlooked. Certainly has helped the guys on the left side there with Alex and Derek with their throws and so many great plays, scoops, saving some errors.
Pitch to Nick Johnson's low. Nick Johnson hitting the ball hard, but nothing to show for it, 2 away. Tonight, throughout the Yankees season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Randy Wynn, number 2, CC Sabathia, number 3, Nick Swisher, number 4, Brett Gardner. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. There's a strike to Teixeira. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Complaining about how slow Bill Hahn is and calling balls and strikes. Al Leiter only made 1 start with him behind the plate. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. You loved him. Grounded, and a great stop by Atkins. He will flip to Guthrie for a 1-2-3 inning. And Guthrie, all things considered, has pitched a pretty good game. He just had that rough 4th inning, and so far that's holding up as the Yankees lead 4-1. Good play by Atkins. On the IOTV HD Super Shot.
Play hugging the line Atkins has on all the lefties. Just seeing that ball was hit very hard. It's cool. Super slow.
Well, here's Adam Jones as we open the 8th. Yankees lead 4-1, top of the Orioles order. Hey, there was a stat today I could not believe. The Yankees have won 7 of their first 8 series, and they've only done that once in the past 60 seasons. That was in 2003 when they started 20-5, and they won 7 of their first 8 series. Popped up. 1 out. Now the Yankees also won 7 of their first 8 series in 1908, 1922, 1928, 1939, and 1949. But in the past 60 seasons, just once before.
Well, that's what every team tries to do. You win the first game, then you think about sweep. If you split, obviously you want to win series. And you win series over 162 games. There are some 4-game sets in there, but you win about 108 games if that stays true through the entire course of the 6 months.
There's Nate Markakis. And there's a strike, and that was also CC's 100th pitch. Here's CC in the 8th inning. It's worth noting that he's gone at least 6 2/3 innings in 31 of his last 37 regular season starts. Pretty good. 1-1. Couldn't hold up.
And wants to be out there. There are a lot of great pitchers in baseball, but they'll also concede to the pitch count or feeling tired, or I've got one more inning in me. CC's never done that. There's a reason why he's thrown 780 plus innings over the last 3 seasons, including postseason.
That was 95.
Well, he's not going to get anything from Bill Hahn tonight. He's eyeballed him enough. They've already jawed at each other. Let's see if it has the right height. He's just getting that ball in the inside corner. Well, this will be good. Yeah, he's off a little bit.
The 2-2. High fly ball. Right center. Nick Swisher will make the play. And 2 men are out. Join Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones after the last out for the WB Mason postgame show. Get highlights and analysis from this game and the rest of the league as well, plus the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. Dave Island has a little meeting on the mound. 104 pitches for Sabathia. And Ty Wigginton is due up.
Well, there's nobody warming up yet, but that would be kind of either a breather or give somebody an opportunity to get up, start warming up. I don't know whether it's a matchup for him to want to either get through Wigginton and have Jabba get him Tejada, or Matt Wieters.
And a strike to Ty Wigginton. Popped up. Let's see if this stays in play. It's going to. And Mark Teixeira puts it away. 106 pitches for CC Sabathia. 8 innings of 1-run baseball. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Yanks. Tough economy, every dollar counts. That's why the Yankees buy office supplies from WB Mason for amazingly low prices on office supplies, furniture, cleaning supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee. Who but WB Mason? Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, Dave Tremblay makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T Rethink Possible. And Clay Meredith will take over for Jeremy Guthrie. Al, you see Meredith's numbers, but all things considered, I thought Guthrie pitched okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. Other than that 1 inning and a couple tough at bats, eventually Randy Wynn got a 1-0 fastball, maybe his first home run as a Yankee.
Well, CC Sabathia talking with Joe Girardi, and pretty much CC's night is going to be over, I would think. Maybe not. Well, that handshake should do it, although there's nobody up in the Yankee bullpen right now. Usually the handshake is the final seal of approval, and we're still waiting for somebody to start throwing in the bullpen. Maybe they'll want to get Mariano up to see until they score, or if they score, then it's not a save situation.
No, you don't want to play with that. You could get two quick outs here.
Well, then why wouldn't somebody be up right now?
I don't know. That's interesting. Jabba started throwing a little bit. Well, Mariano, from that shot we just showed, looks like he's not getting up anytime soon.
He didn't pitch yesterday. And Alex Rodriguez swings and misses at the Meredith offering. And Alex is 1 for 4. That's going to bring up Cano. Now, this is an interesting note about Robbie Cano. Joe DiMaggio made his major league debut on this date in 1936. And it was also 5 years ago today that Robinson Cano played his first game in the big leagues. DiMaggio played 995 and Cano 911. And they ranked 1-2 in franchise history for most hits by a player within 5 years of his debut.
Coincidence?
Impressive. Looks like Cano is going to go hitless today, as Markakis makes the catch to make it 0 for 4 for Robbie. Now it looks like Jabba is going to pitch tonight. Mariano last pitched on April 30th, and that was the first game of this homestand. And he threw 20 pitches. That was Friday.
Yeah, that was a dominant performance. It was 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts to end the game.
I'm sure Kimberly Jones going to ask Joe Girardi, why not Mo? We'll find out on the postgame. A lot of reasons to watch the postgame. Cervelli's in there because Posada slightly injured his calf muscle. And the last time we heard, he was on his way to Columbia Presbyterian to get an MRI. Ball moving so much that Wieters is having a hard time handling it. Hey, traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Nubber in front of the plate. Clay Meredith. The high throw, but Atkins pulls it down for the final out of a 1, 2, 3 innings. So the last 8 Yankees retired in order. Last chance coming up for the Orioles, and they'll have to do it against Jabba Chamberlain as the Yankees hold a 3-run lead. All of those pictures in Yes Mo adds up to 4-1 Yankees as we go to the 9th inning. Each team with 6 hits. The big blow in the game, the difference in the game, the 3-run home run by Randy Wynn. 4-6-0, leading 1-6-1. And Jabba Chamberlain will come on to try to close it out and pick up his first save of the year. Speaking of Randy Wynn, Al, let's take a look at the Land Rover drive of the game. Why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Well, big moment for the Yankees, as you say, that 4-run inning in the 4th inning, driving that ball into the Yankee bullpen. Randy Wynn, first home run as a Yankee, the Land Rover drive of the game.
There's Randy making the start in left. Now, Jabba has 1 career save. He got it back in 2007. Now, I really am looking forward to the postgame show because I'm always intrigued when something that you expect deviates. And 3-run lead, save situation.
Yep.
Mariano Rivera rested, last pitched on Friday, didn't pitch Saturday and Sunday, and I need to know why. So Kimberly, I'm sure, will ask Joe Girardi, and we'll find out why they go with Jabba today and not with Mo. And he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the Orioles order, starting with Miguel Tejada. Count 1-0. Seven of Jabba's last 8 appearances have been scoreless.
And his stuff, Michael, has just been getting better and better. You see that first fastball at 95 miles an hour, velocity up, crisper with his breaking ball. It wasn't easy for any pitcher to be able to start and relieve and go back and forth, and now for him to feel settled and be comfortable and get more comfortable, the training of getting ready for a game and how you throw, and even right down to when you play catch before a game.
Grounded to second base. Cano, one away. Come home to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion Yankees in action on Wednesday, May 19th, when the Yankees play the Rays. The first 18,000 fans 21 and older are going to receive a Yankees Dunkin' Donuts card with a $2 value. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's Matt Wieters, the only run for the Orioles off his bat against Sabathia. Solo home run in the second. That was batting from the right side, and it went to right field. I want to remind everybody that after the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lawrence and Kimberly Jones, WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. Will follow right after that. Good show this week. And talk about a lot of things that went on with the last week or so. And looking ahead to the Red Sox series. And there's some very good email questions. So that's coming up right after the postgame show. Stick around. The 2-1. 2-2.
Just from watching the swings from Matt Wieters, the right side a little bit quicker. Seemed to have a shorter stroke to the hitting zone as a left-handed hitter. A little bit longer of a swing. Certainly part of the adjustment as a major league player. Modifying your swing based on the stuff that you see every night.
And a count 3-2. Wieters, the fifth batter in the order for the Orioles, and the payoff. Missed. And that's a walk to Matt Wieters. Now the phone rings in the bullpen. Mike Harkey answering it.
Well,
let's see if somebody gets up.
Well, you have the 3-run lead, and you get the out. Watch Cervelli. See that little shake of his hand? He's saying shake, no, no. Then he puts fastball away, fastball away. That's not what Jabba wants to throw. He ends up throwing the 3-2 slider, throwing a little lawn dart here. 59-footer. Cervelli had conviction, saw the long swing in the previous pitch of the foul ball. Unless you're absolute, I mean, he does that a lot to throw sliders so effectively.
Ryan Hughes will pinch hit for Atkins. Well, let me play devil's advocate for a second, Al. You got a 4-1 lead. Yeah. Why wouldn't you throw a fastball?
Well, that's what I'm thinking along with Cervelli. You throw a fastball away, and you throw a 95. You can put him away with a good crisp fastball. And fastball away, if you're leery of right field, which you should never be, make him take it out the opposite way. Much harder to go left center as a left-hander.
And even if he takes it out, it's 4-2.
4-2, right. You throw a 3-2 slide, you better throw for a strike.
Pitch to use as a strike.
Your intention is to throw it for a strike, or at least the illusion for the hitter to swing. Obviously, you don't want to walk a guy and throw one game.
Slice foul. Through two straight fastballs, 94 and 95 miles an hour.
All right, now there's no reason he's got a donut on the bat right now. He just hit it over the Oriole dugout. Don't throw anything other than a heater. This is recognizing what's happening with the barrel of the bat through the zone. That's a fastball up.
The 1-2, swung on and missed. Got him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Yankees 1 out away from a win.
Great fastball. The 2 pitches before that, when he had a late swing, you see him just flailing at this pitch away. Cervelli fired up, pumped up about this. Good heater. Emergency hack from Hughes. Hughes recently called up, her best minor leaguer hitting wise. The Yes Mo.
And here's Nolan Reimold. There's that slider, 1-0. The 1-0. Chopped to first. Teixeira beats him to the bag, and the Yankees beat the Orioles 4-1. Randy wins night as he hits a 3-run home run. That is the difference in the game. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits. No errors, a 1-man left. A foot race as Teixeira beats Reimold. And in Yes Mo, there's Teixeira's. And there is Reimold's knee touching up next. So Sabathia with a strong 8 innings of 1-run ball. Then Jabba Chamberlain picks up his first save of the year, his second save in his career. We want to remind everybody to stick around for the post-game show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Could be any number of people. Could be Wynn, could be Sabathia. I'm sure that they will decide that as soon as they get in the votes and the tallies and all that stuff. But Yankees win the first game of this 3-game set. 1 more out of the next 2, and they win 8 of their first 9 series. But getting a bit ahead of ourselves. But Randy Wynn contributes mightily, the difference in the ballgame, and he's standing with our very own Kimberly Jones. Kim?
He was, Michael. Randy, just a few hours ago at your locker, you told me, I'm just excited to have the opportunity to help this team win. That home run had to feel awfully good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get in there when your number's called, you hope you're ready and you can do something. My first at bat was a little anxious, a little jumpy, but I was able to, get the pitcher in the zone. And I'm not much of a home run hitter, but I was able to get one today.
You've been in the game a long time. You've done a lot in this league, but a thrill to have your first homer as a Yankee?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, anytime you can do something to help the ball club win, I was glad to get it in a win, so it was nice.
You're rounding the bases. We're showing Kevin Long and Joe Girardi. Those guys in the dugout looked far more excited than you did. What was the reception when you got back?
They were pretty excited. The whole dugout was pretty excited, so that's the fun part of it. When all your teammates are excited and you can do something to put the team up, and everybody's happy when you come in, it's a good feeling.
Thank you so much, Randy. Congratulations. Michael, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim, and thank you, Randy. So a lot still to come here on the Yes Network. We'll give out some of the awards, and we'll break down Yankees 4 and the Orioles 1. Remember to stay tuned also for the WB Mason post-game show with Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones. All coming up.
We mentioned Randy Wynn with the home run. Nick Swisher going 3 for 3. But on the downside, Jorge Posada had to leave the game after the 5th inning with some calf tightness. So let's get the latest on Posada and more with the manager's report. And it is brought to you by Geico.
He's in an MRI booth, I believe, right now. He felt it on I believe it was second at bat. And he felt like just like someone, like, I'm trying to think of the words that he said, that someone kind of hit him in the calf. He did some strength testing with Gino. That was good, which is a good sign. But, we won't know until we get the MRI back.
I don't know if it's similar. I'm not saying it's similar, but before Granderson went to there was an initial diagnosis. Was there an initial diagnosis tonight?
No. So we're going to wait and see for what the MRI tells us.
Did you have Mariano?
No. Mo has a little stiffness in his side. So we thought he might be available today, talked to him today, and decided not to use him. We will shoot for tomorrow.
Can you give us the origin, what day that cropped up, and your level of concern?
He felt it Saturday after he threw Friday. He thought he might be ready Sunday, and then he thought he might be ready today, and he's still not ready. Level of concern, it's definitely gotten better each day, and he played catch today. and he felt okay. So, it'd be nice to give him another day off, but we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Have there been or are there any scheduled tests on Mariano?
No.
And could you just assess CC and also his relationship with the home plate umpire?
CC was great tonight. He gave up the one solo shot. I thought he got a lot of ground balls. He got some important double plays tonight. And I think he was at like 50 pitches after 3 innings and was able to keep it under 110, which is really important because he will not get an extra day this time. As far as his relationship, he got a little upset and showed some emotion a little bit. And, that's just the competitive nature of the game.
Hey, Joe, do you remember, I don't know which side it is?
Yeah, it's his left.
Questions, Mark?
Well, yeah, I think it's always, you have your, I don't know, what muscles are those called? I mean, they're ab muscles, I guess.
The
intercostal,
the term that you guys are...
Oblique, yeah. It's more in the back, though.
The trainers called it the flank.
The flank.
So I said, we'll just say side, but since the technical term is flank.
Flank steak.
Joe, you guys get a good win here, but when you think about Mo having a little health issue and Posada now, and obviously Granderson out, you guys were pretty healthy the first month. Is this starting to become a little bit of a concern to you when major players like this start having issues?
It is. I think anytime you start seeing guys get a little bit nicked up, it's a concern. And we've talked about the importance of giving guys days off because we have some, I don't want to insult them, but some older players on our club. And we have to be careful. I mean, we have to be smart about spelling them when they need a spell, and it's not always when they think they need it. Sometimes we have to make tough evaluations. And we have to be cautious at times.
Was CeCe's main objection tonight the strike zone itself, or was there something else?
You probably have to ask him. The good thing is CeCe threw a very good ball game for us and won the game.
Did you think he had his real good stuff tonight, or do you think he was laboring a little bit?
I thought he did a little bit early. I thought he labored a little bit early, but I thought after that he was pretty good.
Well, we can show you exactly what Joe means there. The game highlights from tonight's action presented by Land Rover. This is where he labored a little bit. Top of the second off Matt Wieters, starting off the inning with the 2-2 pitch, and he drives it to right for the solo shot, 1-0. He was in another jam top of the fourth with 2 on and 2 out, but he gets out of it. Lou Montañez lifts one up to shallow center. Robbie Cano makes the catch, and it keeps it a 1-0 game. A bottom of the fourth, man on second, 2 outs. Keep that in mind. Nick Swisher drilling one off the W.B. Mason sign. And Alex Rodriguez will score. Makes it 1-1. 2 batters later, again, 2 outs. Not like anything's changed, but it's key because they keep banging away. Randy Wynn, 1 for 14 on the year. A 3-run shot off Guthrie, his first of the year. He only had 2 in 538 at-bats with the Giants last year. It was a big shot, 4-1. Now, prior to the top of the 6th, Francisco Cervelli having to suit up and come in, replacing Jorge Posada, who left with the tightness in his right calf. Sabathia cruising after that. Wieters grounds into the 6-4-3 double play. Sabathia benefiting from a couple double plays on the night. Then top 8, he finishes his night by getting Ty Wigginton to lift one into foul ground, and Mark Teixeira will move over and glove it. Teixeira, by the way, picking up his 2009 Gold Glove prior to the game today, along with Derek Jeter. And a little congratulations, 8 strong innings. In top 9, it's Jabba Chamberlain coming in and getting the save. His first of the season, second in his career. Tex outraces Nolan Reimold to the bag, and the Yankees win it 4-1. Again, Jabba Chamberlain being used because Mo has a little stiffness in his right side that Girardi hopes will be better tomorrow, but the Yankees get it done. 4-1 is the final for Sabathia, just 6 hits and 1 run allowed as he improves to 4-1. So let's look at the upcoming schedule. It is courtesy of Jaguar. And they've got 2 more to go against the O's. It's a nighttime affair tomorrow, followed by a day game on Wednesday. Then a break Thursday before it's off to Boston for 3, followed by Detroit for 4. All right, another break. When we come back, we're going to hear from CC Sabathia as he grades out his performance tonight, and I'm sure he'll be asked about his relationship with the home plate umpire, so don't go away. the WB Mason postgame. It's a 4-1 win for the Yankees. CC Sabathia now for the second time in a week beats the Baltimore Orioles. When he was at Camden Yards, gave up 11 hits and 3 runs. This one, he shaves that down to 6 hits and 1 run. Works hard again, 106 pitches over 8 innings. And in fact, now he has pitched into the 8th or through the 8th inning his last 3 outings in a row and 4 of 6 this season. Here's CC with the media postgame.
Trying to find it a little earlier in the game, and after we scored the runs, I was able to settle down and just lock it in and try to throw the ball over the plate, make a swing early in the count.
How much did you like seeing a veteran who's done a lot in this league but finally gets a chance here, hit his first home run in Randy Wynn?
That was pretty cool, and it was a bomb too, so I was pretty excited. It came in a big spot with 2 outs, so that's what pick a guy like that up for.
You talk a lot about this offense, and it picks up pitchers all the time. It gets you even and then draws you ahead all the time. But it seems to be a different guy a lot of the time this season, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, and our offense hasn't even taken off, and hit like we can. So, for us to be winning these games, and it's a different guy every night, it's pretty cool.
Joe mentioned the fact that since your next start is on regular rest, your pitch count was important tonight. Are you pretty pleased that you were able to keep it reasonable?
Yeah, he didn't tell me that before the game, though. But, yeah, I was just able to go out and just pitch aggressively and keep it, pretty much down.
Did you feel like the strike zone was sliding a little bit on you tonight?
Just a little bit. It's in the heat of the battle, get a little frustrated. So, but a couple years ago, I probably would have lost a little more than I did. Me getting older and being able to control my emotions definitely helped me out tonight.
What was the key to all the ground ball outs today?
Just trying to keep the ball down. 2 seamers and keep it down. When we get runners on, try to get a double play, and they were beaten into the ground.
Well, as we mentioned, after CC tonight, it was Jabba Chamberlain coming in and picking up his first save of the season. Normally, we'd see Mariano Rivera, but as we found out after the game from the manager, Joe Girardi, he has a little stiffness in his right side, or what was deemed by the trainers the flank area, as we heard from Yankees PR man Jason Zillo. So let's find out from Mo exactly how he's feeling. He caught up with Kim Jones.
Yeah, just, a little tightness. I would say tightness because, I pitched the first game against Chicago White Sox, and I felt some discomfort there. And next day, I sneezed and I felt some discomfort. So I told the guys, I told the trainers and the manager, and we thought that 2-3 days will be fine. So, we rested in, and today I threw and felt good. But I didn't want to push it. Tomorrow, I'm going to go off the mound. And if everything's okay, I'll be in the game.
You don't sound worried, are you?
You say that.
Have you felt something like this before? Is this a similar tightness to other seasons, other years?
I never felt something in my ribs cage. Besides the right side on the World Series. That one was worse. This one is just a little tweak there. But hopefully, like I said, tomorrow everything will be normal.
Jorge's getting an MRI as we speak. You have tightness. Yankee fans don't want to hear anything about injuries. Do you have any worries with Granderson already on the DL that these things are starting to accumulate a little bit?
Those things are going to happen. Like I said before, you mentioned a team that nobody gets hurt, and I'll be asking questions, but those things are going to happen. I've been playing 16 years in the big leagues, and I've seen those things happen, comes and goes. So, we don't have to pay too much attention to it. Just make sure that you take care of it and do the things right.
We'll check in with you.
All right, so Mo, sounds like things might be okay tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have an update on the pregame for you. Meantime, Jabba came in tonight. He did strike out 1. He walked 1, so a man was aboard. But after that, it was lights out, took care of business, and again, picked up his first save this season and only the second of his career. That last one came back in the 2007 season. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll update you around baseball. We'll take you to Fenway. Red Sox taking on the Angels, and we've got the highlights just moments away.
Tomorrow, the Bombers take on Baltimore in another AL East showdown at the stadium. Orioles, Yankees. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6.
Only on Yes.
Come on, back it up. It's the 3rd time this month. What happened this time?
Number one, ice is slippery. Number two, this thing wasn't calibrated before I drove it.
Yeah, same dasher board, same excuse.
Ask Mike Green. He was on the ice the whole time. Tell him, Mike.
Guys, he drove straight into it, and I'm pretty sure he yelled bullseye.
He's just kidding. We need a second opinion.
Oh, yes. My me time is when I'm apologizing for something I had nothing to do with.
My me time is when my in-laws are in town.
My me time is when my luggage went to the Bahamas. And I didn't.
Discover you time anytime with McDonald's new frappes.
And now you can enjoy some sweet, frothy you time at a price that's just right. Pick up a small mocha or caramel frappe for just $2.29.
At Quicken Loans, we're changing the way Americans get a home loan for the better.
We really listen to you, and that helps us recommend a home loan option that's perfect for your needs.
We'll close your loan at your own house if you want. You don't have to come to us. We'll come to you.
My cell phone's always on. If you need me, I'm here for you.
Every client, every time. No exceptions,
no excuses. That's what we're all about.
And that's why I love
being a home loan expert.
What is performance? 0 to 60 or 60 to 0? The quarter mile or a quarter century? Is performance about the joy of driving or the importance of surviving? To us, performance is not about doing one thing well. It is about doing everything well. Because in the end, everything matters. Performance without compromise. That is what drives us.
And you show up, and every game means something, and it means something to us too. And I don't want that to go away. You know, we have a lot of responsibility here. We have great fans. There's a lot of attention from the media. Maybe losing's easier if there's 2 media members here or no fans. That's not what we're shooting for. We got a special place to play. We want to live up to that.
Well, Terry Francona there, knowing that his team just got swept by the Baltimore Orioles, that there was, talk of that maybe some of the new guys on the Red Sox roster weren't like the old guys, the dedication to winning. He had that to deal with, plus an 11-14 record as the Angels came to town. And we want to check out what happened at Fenway tonight. The out-of-town highlights are brought to you by Mohegan Sun. Good guy to have on the hill if you're trying to break a losing streak. Clay Buchholz coming in with a 2.19 ERA. Bottom of the second, he gets some offense. Kevin Youkilis leads off the inning. Solo shot over the monster. That made it 1-0 Boston. Later in the inning, Bill Hall at the plate, man aboard, and he launches a 2-run shot into the monster seats. Joe Saunders getting lit up early. That's Hall's first homer of the season to make it 3-zip. Bottom 3, 2 on. Mike Lowell, deep to center. This one won't get out of the joint, but it's off the wall. Kevin Youkilis and J.D. Drew come in to score. Lowell's got a double, and Boston has a 5-0 lead. Later in the game, bottom of the 6th, it is 9-4 Red Sox, and 1 on for Adrian Beltre, who gets into one. This off Matt Palmer, Beltre's first home run of the year. First, obviously, as a member of the Red Sox, and he gets the silent treatment from his teammates for that, all in good fun. Boston up 11-4 at that point. Well, they're lighting up the Angels pitching staff right now. They're in the bottom of the 7th. It's 14-4. Every Red Sox player has at least 1 hit. 5 have 2 or more. On to Cleveland for the Blue Jays and Indians. Quicken Loans Arena, the Celtics in Cleveland playing the Cavs, and the Blue Jays facing the Indians. And Jose Bautista crushing a shot off Mitch Talbot to left center into the empty bleacher seats. 2-0 Jays. Brett Cecil was dealing for Toronto. Bottom of the 2nd gets Johnny Peralta looking. And then bottom of the 4th, Shin-Soo Choo goes down swinging. On to the 7th, it's 4-0 Jays. Cecil hadn't allowed a hit until Johnny Peralta, with 2 outs in the inning, breaks up the no-hitter and the shutout. The base hit to left scores Grady Sizemore, so 6 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball goes by the wayside. Bottom of the 8th, Cecil continuing to dominate, gets Matt Laporta. And then top of the 9th, John Buck with a solo shot off Talbot for a little insurance, his 5th of the season. As the Blue Jays win it 5-1, Cecil goes 8 innings, gives up just that 1 hit, walked 2, and struck at a career-high 10. Well, if you sent a text, you know. But here's the answer to tonight's KGB trivia question. Before moving to New York in 1903, the Yankees franchise was known as the Baltimore Orioles. For answers, not links, text all your baseball questions to 542-542. All right, we'll take another break. When we come back, more reaction from the clubhouse. We're going to hear from Nick Swisher, among others. Big night for him. 3 hits, 3 for 3. His average is now up to 307.
This is unlike any car you've ever seen before. This is power with efficiency. This is an interior that exceeds even the promise of the exterior. This is the all-new Jaguar XJ. The stunning result of taking a very different road.
Every 2011 XJ comes with best-in-class platinum coverage, including a 550 warranty and complimentary scheduled maintenance.
You want to get a great-looking lawn like this, but trying to grow grass from seed in tough areas like deep shade, along the driveway, and where the kids play can be a little intimidating. Until now, with Scott's Easy Seed. It's so revolutionary, it's guaranteed to grow grass anywhere. That's because Easy Seed is a high-performance mix of Scott's best grass seed, starter fertilizer, and a super absorbent growing material that absorbs water and expands to surround and protect the seeds. So you can grow thick, beautiful grass in even the toughest areas. The Scott's Easy Seed mix even lightens in color to tell you when it's time to water. It's so foolproof, you'll get a thick, green Scott's lawn, even if you've never been successful with other seed before. The revolutionary Scott's Easy Seed. You're guaranteed to be able to grow grass anywhere. Go online to get a coupon for $5 off the purchase of Scott's Easy Seed.
And Posada downswinging.
Yeah. Georgie, it's for you.
Hello? Didn't I tell you to stop chasing that high stuff? Dad? And open up your stands. They're jamming you inside.
You gotta love DirecTV. Georgie's dad never misses a pitch, all the way from Florida. And he gets the most games in HD.
Follow your favorite team no matter where you live with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV.
Hello? Dad?
Did you know when you call Quest, instantly you're meeting the coolest people? You can tell when you hear someone's voice if you're gonna click. I mean, Quest is the best place to meet great singles, just have fun, and completely be yourself. I mean, with one simple call, you're part of the best local party, and it's free to try. So pick up the phone and call now. It's never been easier to meet incredible people. Call Quest.
Try it free. Call 212-812-1212 now.
Time for the Johnny Walker Defensive Play of the Game. Back to the bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, and Mark Teixeira, hot shot down the right field line, but Garrett Atkins never lets it get there. Teixeira stirring up the chalk. Garrett Atkins lays it out, then gets it to Jeremy Guthrie covering for the out. It's your defensive play of the game. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Good to have you back once again here on the WB Mason postgame. A lot of good things happening in this 4-1 series opening win against Baltimore in the Bronx. It was CeCe Sabathia getting his 4th win. Randy Wynn, a big 3-run homer. And as we mentioned earlier, Nick Swisher going 3 for 3, knocking in a run with a double. Let's hear from Nick.
It just seems like, we've been kind of rocking and rolling a little bit, and, we got that good attitude. Every time we come to the field, we think we're going to be successful. And, whether that happens or it doesn't, it's the mindset coming into the ballpark. And, we have that now. And, I think you really got to look at the leaders on this team. Those guys are definitely the guys that taught us all that stuff, and we're just kind of falling in line.
What did you have against Guthrie that kind of the other guys didn't?
Not much, a guy like Guthrie, he's a little different this year than he was last year. His fastball's moving a little more. His changeup moves a little more. He's got a good breaking ball now. And pretty much all I try to do against anybody is just try and put the barrel on the ball. You can't aim it, but, you can definitely try and hit it.
Nick, I know you'll take a double anywhere, but when it comes at the end of a 10-pitch at bat, is that an even better feeling?
Well, it's a battle. Every time I feel like I face him, it's always a big-time battle. He's got good stuff, and, to be able to get in the box and, on a backdoor slider on 3-2 after fouling off a bunch of pitches, I just tried to stay to my routine, stay to my approach, and, that was hit the ball to the backside. So, I guess I got a little lucky on that one.
You're really heating up here at Yankee Stadium, have you noticed?
Not even paying any attention to it.
Hey, one more thing for you. Randy Wynn seems fairly stoic. It seemed like after his home run, all of you guys were having more fun than he was.
I was so excited. I think I even gave a fist pump while I was running around the bases. I was so happy for him. You know, Randy's such a huge part of this team, and not only his ability on the field, but you know, his knowledge and everything that he brings as a veteran player. I couldn't have been more tickled for him. I was so happy for him. I told him, I said, man, I was so glad I was on base when you hit that. It was a beautiful swing, and for him to get that is definitely a confidence booster for him.
Well, Swisher was on base a lot, not only tonight, but in the entire time he spent playing against the Orioles this season. In 3 of the 4 games against the O's, Swisher has 3 hits each night. So figure a 3-hit night 3 times. That's good eating. 8 of 12, 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. And tonight, again, 3 for 3. He'd like to keep it going tomorrow night. And when he does, he's going to try and do it against Brian Mattis, who's been very good this season, but his ERA got bumped up against the Yankees last week in a loss at Camden Yards. And A.J. Burnett going, trying to improve to 4-0. So the Yanks and O's back at it Tuesday night, the middle game of their 3-game series. Chris Sheeran and the Batting Practice Show begin our coverage on Yes at 6 o'clock. I'll see you for the pregame at 6:30, followed by Michael Kay and Al Leiter with the call of the game at 7 o'clock. Now, for all of us at Yes, I'm Bob Lorenz. Thanks for being here. Stick around for the Joe Girardi Show presented by W.B. Mason. It's coming up next. Take care.
This has been a presentation of the Yes Network, your home for the reigning World Series champion New York Yankees and the 2-time Eastern Conference champion Nets, plus the original series center stage, the 16-time Emmy-winning Yankeeography, and more. The Yes Network, the #1 regional sports network in the country.
In every friendly little competition,
Right behind you.
there's a winner and a loser. A runner-up, second best, the one who fell a bit short.
Thank you.
Our friends at BMW know exactly how this feels.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/1000,000,000% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Poland Spring. Poland Spring 100% natural spring water, born better.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Yes Network.
To commemorate our 27th World Championship, we would like to give you That is sharp. a signed number 27 jersey, World Series patch for display. That is Thank very you. nice. Thank you very much.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. Premieres every Sunday. We tell you what happened the week after and the week before. I think that makes sense. And all the big storylines as well. The star of the show is Joe Girardi, the Yankee manager, and I'm Michael Kay. There was a lot happening this week. And let's start off with the injury that occurred on Saturday, Joe, because that's going to impact for a while. That's Curtis Granderson. Where do we stand, and what's the plan?
He has a grade 2 strain of his left groin. He's going to be out a while. I mean, we're probably looking at a month. So it's very unfortunate. You know, he's our starting center fielder, and we're going to have to deal with it.
All right, so what do? Do you move Gardner into center field, and what do you do with left field?
Yeah, we're going to move Guardy into center field, and then, you know, we'll have to mix and match. You know, Marcus has been swinging the bat extremely well, and, you know, we have to get by this little segment where our bullpen's a little bit short, and then we'll probably call up an outfielder.
You know, it's not funny, but it is strange that the Yankees had gone through the first month of the season without any kind of injury. Your thoughts when Granderson's hitting second base and you can see he's coming up lame?
Yeah, you know, it's just like, oh, we don't need this. You know, you don't need to see your players go down. It's the first warm day we've had, and a lot of times you worry about injuries when it's cold. And we get a warm day, and he just reached for the bag funny with his left leg, and he ended up just straining his groin.
I wonder, Joe, and believe me, this is no blame at all, because I thought that he should be running there too. As a manager, you second guess, gee, if I didn't have him running there, he wouldn't have pulled his groin.
No, I don't second guess that at all. You know, actually with him running there, he probably gets the third base easier, but he kind of got, you know, caught where he's stealing and he reached for the bag with his left leg. I'm not really sure why, and it's really unfortunate.
Do you think it sets the team back, and do you have to say, hey, listen, we got to play through this, or is that unspoken?
No, I mean, you have to play through it. All teams are going to deal with injuries. We dealt with them last year. We dealt with them in 2008. I mean, you go back. You always deal with them, and you have to find a way to get through it.
Now, in his history, does he have leg problems like this?
No, I mean, he's been pretty healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, you look, he plays every day. I mean, he's been extremely healthy. I just think it was a funny play.
How disappointed is he?
Well, I mean, Curtis loves to play, and if you watch him come to the ballpark, he's always got a smile on his face and can't wait to get in there. So this can be hard for him.
Now, he was slumping coming up to that game, and then he started to hit the ball the last two games, Friday and Saturday. Did you feel that he was coming out of it?
Yeah, I did. And he got a couple hits in Baltimore in one of the games, and I thought he'd been swinging the bat pretty good. And, you know, you get a homestand, and guys start to get comfortable in their own ballpark, and he's swinging the bat better, and it's, you know, sometimes that's the way it happens.
All right, let's think about some good things. At the beginning of the week, the Yankees go to the White House, which I think officially puts to bed 2009. They celebrate the championship with the President of the United States.
In the end, that's what makes the Yankees special. It's not simply the names on their roster or the size of their trophy case. It's the people underneath the pinstripes that set this team apart.
What's that like, a kid from Illinois standing there, and you're kind of like just hanging out talking with Barack Obama?
It's a little nerve-wracking. You know, it's a little bit intimidating, you know, to be with the most powerful man, you know, probably in the world. And, you know, he was very graceful. He was actually easy to talk to. He makes you feel very comfortable in a situation that could be really uncomfortable.
What was it like being in the White House? You'd been there as a player.
I think as you get older, you appreciate it more because you understand the history more, and you understand, you know, now being, you know, I'm not going to even compare myself to President Obama, but being in a leadership role, you know, I can't even imagine the pressures he's under, but all the scrutiny that he's under, but you know, you see it in a little bit in what I do, and you really have an appreciation for what he does.
What's your thought process on how your team handled itself? It seemed like they were pretty much in awe as well. You got to look back when you're standing there with the president, look at your team. Were you proud?
Very proud. And I was extremely pleased with how he pointed out players and did his homework. I mean, this is a very, very smart man. And he did his homework and pointed out Derek and their charity work. And I thought that our players handled it great. I thought they really handled the whole week great because guys went to different hospitals. They visited soldiers that had been injured in the line of duty all week long, and I thought our players were great.
Tell me about Walter Reed Hospital. What did that mean? Because I was looking at the players' faces, and I think that they were taken aback at the high spirits of these soldiers.
Yeah, when you think about the injuries that they have, you know, whether a guy is, you know, missing part of his leg from the knee down, or he's missing both legs or arms, and saw a gentleman who was shot in the ear that went through his cerebellum. Their sense of team is absolutely amazing to me because all they do is talk about, I can't wait to get back to my unit. I can't wait to get back to my unit. And how they are so determined to rehab and get back. It's really amazing. And I think those type of visits do more for the players and the people involved than maybe for the soldiers. I mean, we get so much out of that.
Now also, that almost reminded me, and the Yankees announced this week that Hope Week is going to be back August 16th through the 20th. What did that mean to you last year personally and to the team?
Hope Week is a wonderful thing because you bring in people that really you're trying to give hope to, or you're trying to support, whether it was mentors in the Washington Heights, or the children can only go out at nighttime. To me, that means a lot, and I'm very proud of our organization and the players, the way they gave back. I mean, the night that we had Camp Sundown, kids that can't go outside during the day or their skin will basically burn up. Guys stayed here and played on the field till 3 or 4 in the morning, whether it was a wiffle ball game, whether guys were singing and playing guitar. Just proud of the way our guys gave back.
We'll talk some baseball?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to talk about the games in Baltimore and then the Yankee games against the White Sox here at Yankee Stadium. Also, we'll look ahead because the Yankees playing the Red Sox again real soon. This is WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show right here on Yes, Stay Where You Are.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball. tomorrow. The Bombers take on Baltimore in another AL East showdown at the stadium. Orioles, Yankees. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6.
Only on Yes.
Okay, Pixels. IOTV brings people every HD game of the Knicks, Rangers, Nets,
Islanders, Devils, Mets,
Yankees, Giants, and Jets. So, can we all agree not to play favorites?
I suppose.
Sure. I guess so. Great. Let's shake on it. Yes!
No one delivers more New York sports in HD. IOTV brings you an extraordinary HD experience free.
The Cadillac Laurel sales event, featuring the acclaimed CTS sports sedan, a car and driver 10 best for the 3rd year in a row. With a direct injection V6 engine. See your Cadillac dealer soon, because while there is no expiration date on achievement, on rewarding it, there is.
Qualified current lessees visit CadillacTristate.com.
Woke up this morning feeling.
Imagine if your mortgage gave you cash back, a little something in return. Introducing 1% mortgage cash back from Chase. Refinance or get a new Chase mortgage and get 1% cash back every year, automatically.
Something tells me I'm into something good. Something tells me
Chase what matters. Stop in today and find out how your mortgage can give you cash back.
All the Yankees' top stories.
I was definitely excited for the opportunity. I wanted to win.
Our system is producing, and it's producing via trade.
The latest Bronx Bomber highlights.
What a way to break in as a New York Yankee for Curtis Granderson.
And pinstripe exclusives you won't find anywhere else.
You have to feel good in your ready position.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
Nancy Newman hosts Yankees Magazine. New episodes every week, only on Yes. It's pure fandemonium at MyYesNetwork.com. Post your fantastic photos and videos to MyYes, and they might wind up on our website or even on TV. So get your photos, get your videos, and get discovered right now at MyYesNetwork.com. The Joe Girardi Show on Yes is brought to you in part by WB Mason. For office supplies at amazingly low prices, who but WB Mason?
Hey everybody, welcome back to WB Mason's presents the Joe Girardi Show. Now we're going to take a look back at some of the games that occurred during the week. Obviously the Yankees had Monday off where they went to the White House and also visited Walter Reed Hospital. Tuesday it was back to baseball as they go to Camden Yards to meet the Orioles. Now, never, ever, ever would I expect you to use this as an excuse. Yankees lost that game on Tuesday. I thought you guys looked exhausted. I had never seen you look so tired as I did on Monday night. That was a long night. You guys got in really late from the West Coast. Were you guys dragging?
I didn't really think so. I actually felt pretty good. I got a great night's sleep Monday night. Obviously, you were able to go to sleep pretty early because we got in late Sunday night and then we had the day Monday. But physically, I felt fine. Now, it's different being a player because, you know, I'm not exerting the energy, but I felt pretty good.
All right, Phil Hughes started that game. And the thing that impressed me about that game, Joe, with him, didn't have his great stuff. He didn't have a breaking ball. But this guy doesn't give it up like young pitchers usually do when they're struggling.
He's matured a lot, and he really struggled with his command. He had a hard time getting the ball down and away to right-handers, and you look up, he can give up very many runs. I mean, he kept us in the ball game, and he threw a lot of pitches in 5 1/3 or 5 2/3 or whatever it was, but you know what? He kept them at bay, and I think the run that he gave up, he ended up walking in a run, which is really unusual because his command has been so good. But he struggled a little bit, but he never caved.
All right, on Wednesday, the Yankees end up winning the game. CC Sabathia on the mound, as always, gives the Yankees length. Gave up 11 hits, and I guess you could say he scattered the 11 hits. Yankees won that game. Your thoughts on Sabathia?
Well, he struggled with his command that day, too. Similar to Phil Hughes, but he didn't throw nearly as many pitches and did a good job, and we got a lot of runs that day. But, I mean, CC, you know, like Phil, didn't have their best stuff that night, but gave us a chance to win, and we did.
All right, in that game, Jeremy Guthrie hits Jorge Posada. And we had a shot of you in the dugout. You weren't pleased. It wasn't like you were angry, but you were almost like disappointed and frustrated. He said, and after the game he apologized, I didn't do it on purpose. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it still allows you to get angry because he can't control his pitches?
Well, it frustrates me because I think of the last 17 hitters he's hit, none of them have been New York Yankees. And he hit a couple in spring training as well. And, you know, people ask me, do you think he's doing it on purpose? Well, there's a situation where it's the leadoff hitter in an inning. You don't want to put the leadoff hitter on. And you're definitely, you know, not just going to try to hit him in first pitch. I'm not sure why he's hitting so many of our guys. And you got to wonder if it's somewhat emotional, where it's controlling your emotions. But it's extremely frustrating because we lost Georgie for a couple days and his leg was all swollen up, and when you start thinking about getting hit in the knee, I mean, if it would have been a little bit lower, maybe, you know, he fractures his knee or hits his kneecap and, you know, shatters his kneecap. It's frustrating.
All right, so the Yankees win that game, and then on Thursday they play the Orioles, the final game of a 9-game road trip. So this was the rubber game of the Orioles series and the rubber game of the whole road trip, and you guys win by a score of 4-0 behind A.J. Burnett.
A.J. was outstanding. First pitch strikes, not walking people. You know, let his defense work for him. There were some great plays in that game. Robbie Cano made a great play up the middle. Alex made a great play on a ball coming in. And I think he got Tejada at first base, or maybe it was Markakis. I'm not sure who it was, but I thought our defense played extremely well, and we got some timely hitting and won.
All right, Joe, let's talk Cano.
Okay.
First of all, that play up the middle. Joe Morgan once told me, the former Hall of Famer and the broadcaster now, that he's never seen anybody make that throw like that and get that much on it. How good is he defensively?
He is so good, and I think his defense sometimes is overlooked. You know, I thought he should have been a Gold Glove winner last year with the defense that he played, and I don't remember ever seeing anyone make the play the way he does it. Now, some guys might have a little bit more range to their right, but they're not going to make that throw like he does. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. He's off to an unbelievable start, whether it's his defense, his hitting, his base running. He's played extremely well.
All right, let's talk about the hitting. He had an unbelievable series in Baltimore. He hit 2 home runs in one of the games, and he just seems so locked in. And then when you look at the players' faces, I mean, as fans, we're in awe of everybody doing things, but they were in awe of him. What's taken him to this next level?
You know, I don't know. I mean, he's off to a great start, and we've talked about how he's matured, and you know, he's grown up. I mean, one of the things that you do when you play in New York is, yes, you're under a lot of scrutiny, but you also grow up sometimes pretty quickly. And I think what he went through 2008 has actually made him a better player, because it was the first time he had really ever struggled. And I think it's made him a better player. And he is locked in. And you're right. I mean, he is so locked in. Players are like joking with him about it and laughing when he makes a hard out.
All right, quick review of that road trip, 5-4. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we would have liked to have been better, especially after starting 2-0 in Oakland. But, you know, we had a winning road trip. We won the last series. We won 2 out of the 3 series that we had, and that's a tough road trip, so it was okay.
All right, first game in New York. You're back in New York, and it must be weird. I guess you get your dry cleaning done. The White Sox come to town. Pettit starts that game. Again, Andy didn't have great stuff, but he was a bull out there, and he just kept grinding.
Yeah, he did. You know, he had a little trouble in the first couple innings, then he kind of settled in, and he left a cutter that got a little bit too much of the plate to Konerko, and he had a 3-run homer. But, I mean, you look at the first 2 hits he gives up. He gives up 2 jam shots. It turns into 3 runs, and that's going to happen. But I thought he really gutted it out.
This guy Jeter's pretty good, too. That game, I think he was 3 for 4
I've heard of
with 4
him
ribbies.
once.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's been amazing. And you look up, and I think he's got 18 RBIs, and he's done it, you know, somewhat kind of quietly, because Robbie's gotten a lot of attention in our lineup, but he's having another great year.
And a guy who's having a very good start is Brett Gardner. He had 2 hits on Friday, and you've always believed in Gardner. You've told me for a long time this guy could play, and now you're even keeping him in there against lefties. So tell me your thoughts on Gardner.
Well, Gardy has been a guy where his splits have really been pretty much the same, left-handers versus right-handers, and I've always had a lot of belief in him because of his speed, and I think he's a tough kid, and he's extremely determined, and people all his life have told him he's too little. But, I mean, he's played at an extremely high level. I mean, he's hitting left-handers, he's hitting right-handers. I mean, he gets a hit off of Thornton, who's throwing 96, 97 the other night. He's playing great.
Then finally on Saturday, Javi Vasquez starts, and he can't get it out in the 4th inning. Obviously, a team that's gotten off to a good start, you have to have some worries. Is this a worry for you?
Well, obviously, you're always concerned when a guy's struggling as bad as Javi is, and Javi has pitched at a very high level. I mean, he's thrown 200 innings for the last 10 years, so, I mean, that means you're making quality starts. He's just struggling right now. We got to find a way to get him going and correct the little things that we can correct and get him contributing.
How much is it mental? How much is it mechanical?
Well, I don't think you can ever weigh that because you're not inside his head, you know. And, you know, slumps sometimes can start off as mechanical and then become mental because you start thinking about it too much. And whatever it is, we need to work with him and get him back.
All right, now the bullpen, again, that day they kind of imploded. Again, it's Damaso Marte. You bring in Marte. That's the move to make with Przinsky up there. and he gives up the 2-run triple that cost you guys the game.
Yeah, and the last thing you think is, you know, he's going to drive a ball that deep into left field, and you got a guy with a bad hammy on first, and they're going to score 2 runs. But, you know, Damo got behind him. He came with a fastball, and it got too much of the plate, and he hit it over Randy Wynn's head.
Joe, you also brought in Boone Logan. Where'd that 97-mile-an-hour fastball come from that day?
He had it in Chicago, and I remember, you know, broadcasting a game, and everyone in their bullpen seemed to throw 95 plus, and Boone was in that bullpen, and we know that he's got it, and he's worked very hard on changing himself a little bit mechanically with Dave, and he's thrown the ball well since we've had him.
All right, final thing about that day. Nick Swisher, before the game, actually admitted to me, Joe, he said, you know what? The fact that I'm not hitting here and I didn't hit here last year, it's starting to get into my head. And then he has a couple of really big hits on Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't think really anything could get into Swisher's head. So I mean, maybe he was just sharing that with you to have a little bit fun. But yeah, I mean, guys want to contribute at home. I mean, he was some kind of road warrior last year, and he didn't hit many home runs at home. But he had a big one on Saturday, and it almost won the game for us, and he's going to hit here.
All right, big week coming up for the Yankees. The Orioles coming to town, and the Yankees hit the road again. Of course, they always seem to be on the road, and this time they'll go to Boston at Fenway Park to play the Red Sox. We'll talk about that upcoming series, and then later on, you get a chance to ask Joe the questions yourself.